Loftus. The Chiefs Radio Network pregame show starts 3 hours before kickoff right here on your home.
AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
And your home for Royals baseball.
Fastball hit high in the air, deep left field, way gone into the bleachers. A two-run homer for Bobby Witt Jr.
Watch The Drive by subscribing on our YouTube channel or listen on demand with the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This show is always going to stand on principles. Dippin' Dots are incredible. Red Lobster is the best restaurant that America has to offer, and baked beans are trash.
You're listening to Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. Here's C-Dot.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Excited to be here with you guys on this wonderful Wednesday. We have a lot to get into. Rob and I are hoping to start a new Drive tradition. Today, we are going to have all three of the local coaches who help guide their team to state championships this year in high school football. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we're going to head to Kearney, Missouri, and be joined by their head coach as Kearney won the State 4 championship. We're going to do that coming up. Some of you might be wondering, well, where are the Kansas coaches? None of the local Kansas schools took care of business. We'd love to incorporate you guys into this. Next season, Rob, hopefully we get a couple of state titles on that side of state line. You'll bring them back, and we're happy to celebrate the Kansas high schools. We don't discriminate on here. Missouri, Kansas, we want all the local schools to go out and do well. So we're going to have the Missouri 4, 5, and 6A state championship coaches. They're all going to be on the show today. We also are going to be joined by Patrick Mahomes is going to be on the show. I got a chance to catch up with him earlier today. We will play that conversation for you in its normal time. We got a lot to get into in today's show. Before we do any of that, I need to remind you guys of a couple of things. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. And number three, and most importantly, I need you to remember that the open of the show is brought to you by our friends over at The Other Place. So if you're looking for a place to watch those knockout round NBA Cup games, maybe you're looking for a place to grab a drink after work, go grab yourself a bite to eat, maybe just catch a game, then the perfect place to do that is with our friends over at The Other Place. So this is where I would like to begin today's show, and we'll head to Kearney, Missouri coming up in just a bit. We are going to talk about a lot of different things this offseason that the Chiefs need to do, and I'm sure there are going to be a bunch of different ideas and suggestions that are thrown out about what the Chiefs need to do. You want to see them go get this player. You want them to make this trade. You want them to sign this guy in free agency. And I am all for listening to every single one of the ideas that people have to help get the Kansas City Chiefs back to the playoffs, back to winning playoff games, and back to one of the more dangerous teams in the National Football League. But to me, the conversation has to start with one thing. How do the Chiefs get the old version of Patrick Mahomes back? So I saw these numbers, and I want to go through them with you guys. Patrick Mahomes, from years 2018 up until 2022, had 106 passer rating and 8.1 yards per attempt. Patrick Mahomes, from 23 to 25, has a 92.5 quarterback rating and a 7.0 yards per attempt. So we are talking about a drastic difference in passer rating and a drastic difference in yards per attempt. Now, we can attribute this to a bunch of different things. But this is an organization that has always prioritized protecting Patrick Mahomes and giving him everything that he needs. They have spent a lot of money investing in that offensive line. It's time to invest in all of the things that you think can help your quarterback. I've told you guys the two things that I really want the Chiefs to emphasize this offseason. Number one, I think they need a big physical man coverage beating wide receiver. I don't think they have that currently on their team. I don't think that's what Rashee Rice is. I don't think that's what Xavier Worthy is. I don't think that's what Tyquan Thornton is. I don't think they have a bigger, more physical man press coverage beating style receiver. And when you look at the defenses that give Kansas City the most problems, it's those kinds of defenses. It's the Philadelphias, it's the Denvers, it's the Houston Texans. It's teams that have physical corners that they know they can play press, bump, and run coverage. They get really good pressure with their front four, and they just disrupt timing for the Kansas City Chiefs. So that's number one. You guys know that I want the Chiefs to emphasize running the football and taking some of the pressure off Patrick Mahomes. And I think they will see that if they can run the football effectively and lean in and trust the run game, and the defense also sees the run game as a threat, I think you'll see how much of a burden that takes off of Patrick Mahomes and how much better he will be because of it. I saw a stat. I told you guys this stat yesterday. Patrick Mahomes accounts for 74% of the Chiefs' offense. They are asking their quarterback to do a lot. Going into a game against the Houston Texans defense, you should not expect Patrick Mahomes to be your leading rusher, which leads me to the second point about getting back to the old Patrick Mahomes. So as a passer, the numbers are there. It is undeniable at this point. Again, we might disagree on the why or how we got here, but it is impossible to look at the passing numbers and tell me that you are looking at the exact same quarterback. It just does not bear itself out in the statistics. Now, let's talk about this second part, and this is something that we have praised Patrick for in the past, but I think you were starting to see it is a crutch, it is a hindrance to their offense. So this information comes courtesy of The Ringer, and the article was about how the Chiefs are breaking Patrick Mahomes. Listen to this. Patrick Mahomes leads the NFL in scrambles. He is on a pace to have his career-high scramble rate. Did you know that on about 10% of the pass plays that are called for the Chiefs, they result in Patrick Mahomes taking off and scrambling? We all know that this is not by design. The Chiefs' offense is not designed to have Pat running around and making these kind of plays. It is happening out of necessity, whether he doesn't trust his offensive line, wide receivers aren't getting open, whatever you think the reason is. But Pat, he leads the NFL in these plays. He is taking off and running on about 10% of his pass plays, of his dropbacks, which is by far and away a career high. I continue to believe this. When their offensive run game is centered around Pat and him running on third down or him taking off and him making something out of nothing, it is usually indicative that their offense is not working. I'll continue to read you this story from The Ringer. When Mahomes loses trust in his offense and the players around him, you see that his scramble rate spikes. It is a clear recession indicator of the Chiefs' passing game. It continues to go on, but you guys get the point. Of all the possible changes that we are going to discuss over the next 3 to 4 months, I am here for them. I am open. I have my ideas. You have your ideas. We certainly are going to have a lot of time in January to talk about the future and where you think the Kansas City Chiefs can be. Number one is this organization needs to find out how to get the best quarterback in the National Football League back, because I think they have the best quarterback. I imagine many of you also think that they have the best quarterback. That does not bear itself out in these regular season statistics. Sure, there is still not a quarterback that I would want in 2 minutes or 5 minutes with the ball in his hand and a chance to take you down the field. I still feel that way about Patrick Mahomes. But it is impossible, I think, to watch the NFL on a week-in, week-out basis and feel like right now the Chiefs have the best quarterback in the league, or are they getting the most production out of the quarterback position? So it's not just the feeling or the accomplishments that you have. It is every single week you are getting the most production out of your quarterback. You cannot say this right now. So it starts with getting healthy on the offensive line. It starts with the improvements in the wide receiver room and just having a variety of guys. Who would you say is the Chiefs' best route runner in their wide receiver room? That if it's a 3-7, 3rd-7, you trust that receiver to run a great crisp route, get wide open, and move the chains. They just don't have that kind of receiver. That's the kind of receiver that I think they need. It's relying on the run game. For the last 2 years, we have tried to dress up 3.8 yards per carry and 3.9 yards per carry. Well, if you run it every time, that's a first down. Stop it. You know that's not an effective and efficient run game. And moving forward, the Chiefs' run game cannot center around Patrick Mahomes making something out of nothing and scrambling and running around and making plays. That's not a part of the offensive structure that you need to have as we are heading into Patrick Mahomes' 30s. So for all the changes that they need, whether you think they need to bring Trent McDuffie back or trade Trent McDuffie, whether you think they need to make some moves on that defensive line, I agree with a lot of the changes people are going to propose. The number one thing the Chiefs need to be focused on, how do we ensure that in 2026 we get the best version of Patrick Mahomes and the most productive version of Patrick Mahomes? Because they did not build their team, they did not build their roster, to me, with that in mind, and they certainly didn't get that level of production each and every week that we watch this team. We're going to be joined by Patrick Mahomes coming up in the 3 o'clock hour. Coming up on the other side, we're going to be joined by Logan Minnick. He is the head coach at Kearney High School. They won the Class 4 state championship. They have won their last 28 consecutive games, an incredible streak by them. We'll talk to them next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 965, The Fan.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a lot more.
And I completely agree. That's why I'll pay more for your car at GiveMeTheVin.com. That's the name of our new campaign. I'm worth more. You are worth more, and your car's worth more. And that's why I will pay more. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100 at GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Every big play starts with a first down, and every financial future starts with the right partner. Main Street Credit Union is not-for-profit and member-owned, which means we invest in you with guidance that's clear, tools that make sense, and people who actually listen. We're here to help you move the chains. Whatever your next move is, auto loan, savings goal, or paying off debt, let's make it one play at a time. Visit mainstreetcu.org to get started.
Hey friends, it's noisy out there with information coming at us all day, every day. It's hard to know what to trust, and the world of wealth management is no exception. That's why UMB Private Wealth Management helps you tune out the noise and tune into what matters most. They'll create a financial plan based on your unique goals, so it's your voice that comes through loud and clear. Get financial clarity. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule an appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Missouri, if you haven't heard by now, good news! FanDuel Sportsbook is live in the Show Me State, and they're kicking things off with an offer that's tough to beat. Right now, new customers in Missouri can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. So whether it's football, basketball, hockey, or more, you can bet it all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. So download FanDuel today and head to FanDuel.com/Missouri and join the excitement. Remember, new Missouri customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. Because Missouri, it's time to play your game of FanDuel. FanDuel is the official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people. Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Joe?
I started a woodworking business. I was able to build beautiful furniture, but had no handle on the business side of things, so quickly fell behind in my taxes. 1 year of being behind in taxes quickly turned into 5 years. I ended up owing almost $37,000.
Then Joe found Tax Relief Advocates.
I would hear ads for Tax Relief Advocates. One day it just clicked. This is my exact situation that I'm in. So I wrote down the number and called from the car when I got home that day. TRA saved me 99% of what I owed the IRS, and that brought a huge sense of relief.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Joe did and called TRA for a consultation.
I'm really happy that I made that call, and I finally felt like I could breathe again.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-513-5321. 800-513-5321. That's 800-513-5321.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Are you looking for a podcast about pro football that doesn't put you to sleep with an avalanche of analytics or insult your fandom with brainless hot takes? Well, hi. I'm Dan Hansis.
And I'm Mark Sessler.
Oh, hi, Mark. And we're the hosts of Heed the Call, the NFL podcast you've been waiting your whole life for.
Heed the Call covers every game, every storyline, everything that matters, and we do it all with a touch of mirth.
Football is fun. Why shouldn't your football podcast be the same?
Follow and listen to Heed the Call NFL podcast wherever you get your podcast.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, I am hoping that Rob and I can start a new tradition on the show. Rob and I both love high school sports. We both support high school sports. So I had the idea a couple of days ago that I wanted to have every coach of the team locally that won the state championship. So if we got 4 or 5 coaches on the show, we got 4 or 5 coaches on the show. But I want to celebrate them, I want to celebrate their school, and I want to celebrate their accomplishments. Well, this year, locally, there were 3 schools that won state for their respective high schools: Kearney, Platte County, and Lee Summit. We are going to have each of those 3 coaches join us on the show. The first one that we're going to play for you guys is the head coach at Kearney, Missouri. Coach Logan Minnick, I got a chance to catch up with him earlier. Kearney went 14-0 this season, and they won state in Class 4A this year. We talked to him about how rewarding it was to win a championship during an undefeated season.
Yeah, what an unbelievable year. So proud of our kids. And we did not have an easy schedule. You know, we're Class 4, and we had 2 of the best Class 6s in the city on our schedule, and all our 9 guys were Class 5. So it was a war of attrition all year long with our schedule, and just so proud of the way our kids came through it. And I really think that benefited us throughout the playoffs, because, you know, the state game got 14-14 all the way there in the fourth quarter, and we'd been in some tight ball games with some bigger schools. So I think that definitely benefited us, finding a way to win this thing. I
was reading in the Kansas City Star, your record is 49-4 as the head coach at Kearney. Is this true?
Yeah. We've I walked into an unbelievable group of kids here. I like to joke about that. When they hired me, I told them, we were going to be 49-4 and win 2 state championships. But that definitely wasn't the case. No, I've walked into, again, an unbelievable group of talent. And then the cool thing here, too, I had a lot of guys on staff here that I'd worked with. I was an assistant here in 15 and 16. So a lot of those coaches were here. So I had a bunch of really good things in place to go on this run that we've gone on.
Right now, we're talking to the head coach at Kearney. Coach Logan Minnick joins us on the show. His team went undefeated this year, 14-0, and they won the Class 4 state title in Missouri. So I went to college in Joplin, so very familiar with Webb City. And just being around a culture of a program that every year there was an expectation of excellence. Man, you guys have something very, very similar. You guys went perfect this season. This is the 6th state championship that you guys have won. You mentioned your record. You're 49-4. What is it about you guys' program that demands this kind of excellence, and year in, year out, you're always in contention to win a state title?
Yeah, I definitely want to mention I was an assistant here in 15 when we beat Webb City in the state championship game. No, it's just, I said in one of my interviews, Kearney is one of the best football towns in the entire state of Missouri. So the support we have here is second to none. And we do such a good job with our youth programs. Like our kids from kindergarten through 8th grade are running our systems. The coaches come and meet with us. It just matters that much. And I think, as you said, now there's definitely an expectation, year in and year out to do this. And I just hope our parents understand some years won't always be 14-0 undefeated years. But at the same time, it's what's expected. We believe around here, we don't rebuild here at Kearney. We just reload.
How rewarding was it to see, both sides of the ball really dominate this year? You guys averaged 41 points per game, and in the title game, you held Hannibal to 117 total yards on defense. So you guys were a complete team, offense, defense, and special teams. How rewarding is it to see all three of those phases come together?
Oh, if you're going to go 14-0, you've got to be great in all three. And we've had games all year where, one wasn't as good as what we maybe have wanted or the other, and we've picked each other up, all year long with that. And, yeah, the defense absolutely the entire time I've been here, I think 12 points a game is maybe the most we've averaged, giving up throughout a season in all four. So we take a lot of pride in that. And I think that's a huge product of how much pride we take in our strength conditioning program here at Kearney, because we don't throw it all over the field. We're not real flashy. We call our brand of football fist fight in the phone booth, and that's how we've won a lot of games here.
Last thing, or I'll get you out of here. You mentioned the support that you've gotten from the community. What does that kind of high school football success mean for a community, mean for a region of our city, that you guys can walk around with the belief that you're the best football program in the state of Missouri?
Yeah, I think, you see on like Varsity Blues and these movies where when the home team plays an out-of-town game, every business closes, there's no lights on in town. That's the kind of community Kearney is. I mean, it really means the world to a lot of these people. We played at Missouri Western for the state championship game, and unbelievable packed house. Only an hour away, it felt like a home game, the amount of support we had. I'm just so proud that our kids can bring one back because, again, we get back into town. You've got fire trucks and police cars escorting us through town. You've got people lining the streets all the way from I-35 to the high school. So unbelievable place to be and so blessed to be here.
That is the head coach at Kearney High School. Logan Minnick joins us on the show. Kearney won the state championship. They went 14-0. They defeated Hannibal in the Class 4 state title game. We are going to be joined by the Lee Summit head coach and also the Platte County. Those were the three local schools that won their state championship this year in their respective classes when it comes to high school football. Rob, Kearney's 49-4 in their last 53 games? 49-4? Why did we not know about this until just now? We should have been talking about this before. They've been incredible.
I mean, I want to know the couple that got them. Like, I'd like to know those schools that just popped up and got them because they
just
are
to
the
let
outliers.
You know this, I bet you KU's not 49-4 in their last 53 games at Allen Fieldhouse.
I don't think there's any team in Power 5 that's that good. Bama isn't that good in Tuscaloosa.
That's crazy. Congratulations to them. Do you think if I showed you a map, do you think you could point out where Kearney is? Like if right now, if I handed you just a map of Missouri and I said, point out Kearney, Missouri, do you think you'd be able to point it out?
I could ballpark it, but no.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Of the three coaches we're having on today, Kearney would be the one I have the hardest time with.
Okay.
I think I would get Platte County. I think I would get Lee Summit.
Okay, I just was wondering.
No disrespect to Kearney.
Are you sure you get Lee Summit? Are you sure? Are you certain you get Lee Summit? I showed you on a map. You're certain.
Lee Summit, I'd get.
Okay, I just want to look it up. I'm just saying. I just want to point out.
Lee Summit's the one I'm most confident in.
Okay, I'm just saying. I want to point out. We can play this game later. If I point to you on the map, do you think you can show me where Kearney, Missouri is? Congratulations to them and their high school team. They won the state title game. They have won 2 of the last 3 seasons. They are currently 49-4 in their last 53 games. What a run by them and their school. All right, let's talk about Notre Dame. They are on a different kind of run. They are on a media run complaining about how they didn't make the college football playoff. Now, I don't have anything against Notre Dame. Why would I have anything against Notre Dame? But it seems very simple to me. If you are arguing between Notre Dame and Miami, they both have the same number of losses. A lot of their metrics are exactly the same. How can you differentiate? How can you tell me who's better than each other? Oh, wait, they played one another this season. That has to be the tiebreaker. I don't know why Notre Dame is arguing this. I don't know why they're arguing, why didn't the ACC stand up for us against Miami? Their argument needs to be against Alabama. Alabama played a game and lost. And out of the last 16 teams that have lost in their conference championship game, 15 of those teams have dropped in the rankings. There's only been one team that didn't drop in the rankings. It was Alabama. Now, my theory is college football wants to keep up this ruse of the importance of the conference championship games, even though they don't fit today's model. I don't know why college football is so hell-bent on using the exact same system that they had in 1995 in 2025, even though the metric of how we gauge how you make your postseason has drastically changed. So now that we have made such radical changes in the sport, we have to make other radical changes. The conference championship games don't work. So you can't play a game, get boat raced the way that Alabama does, and then tell me I didn't see what I just saw. I just saw you get smoked. And my stand is always going to be simple. We had a system where you couldn't lose at all. We then created a system where you could lose one time. We now have a system that you can lose twice. You can now lose 3 games and miss and make the college football playoff. What are we doing here? Why was Alabama allowed to be in this and Notre Dame is out? How was Alabama able to be in this thing and BYU was out of it? I do not believe that Alabama should be in the college football playoff, but they weren't even close to losing their spot. There's the 9 seed. They were firmly in the field. So to me, Notre Dame arguing that they should be in over Miami when you lost to Miami is the wrong thing that you should be arguing. You should be arguing that you should be in over Alabama because they lost more games than you did. But that's neither here nor there. Here is the AD at Notre Dame arguing and telling us that he was very frustrated with the process of how we determine the college football playoff.
Yeah, I want to make one thing clear, Dan. We have no problems with the teams that made it in. They're all great teams. You know, Miami's a great team. Alabama's a great team. You have Texas, Vanderbilt. We're a great team. What we're so confused by and frustrated with is the process. You know, every step along the way since the first CFP rankings came out, we were led to believe we were in, as long as we took care of business. And we certainly took care of business with this 10-game winning streak. Dan, you think about that first ranking, you know, we in Miami were both 6-2. They had obviously already beat us the first game of the year. They were 18th. We were 10th. You know, the only thing that we did since that point was win every game by over an average of over 30 points. And, you know, all of a sudden we're 11th and on the outside looking in. And, you know, when we sit and talk, when I talk to Marcus, when we talk to our team, we don't have any good answers for that. So we're just really frustrated that we had the rug pulled out from underneath us, Dan.
This is where I will defend, but I'm only going to defend Notre Dame just a little bit here. I do think they're right in that the weekly college football ranking show is unnecessary and creates to the drama in arguing. If you have been ahead of Miami this entire time and they have been arguing why you should be ahead of Miami, and then at the end, when all of the information is in for both teams, they still have you ahead of them. We then have another week in which neither one of you play, and then at the end, they just randomly switch the other team in your place and now argue against everything that they've been saying for the last 5 television shows. It just shows the hypocrisy of all of this. There should only be one college football ranking show, the one at the end. Not this every week, weekly argue back and forth. No, there's one show. Hey, we have all the information. We're now going to give it to you. And now we're going to tell you why we did what we did. But I understand it. It's a television product. They got to create the drama. They got to give you a reason to watch it. So you can go back and forth and argue and see what the committee is going to do. That seems like it's the foundation of these things is let's go argue about things. So I do understand Notre Dame from that perspective. I don't know if this is going to make Notre Dame now join a conference. They've been able to maneuver quite fine for a very long time without it. They made the college football playoff last year without being in a conference. They almost made it this year. And next year, I don't know if many people know this, there is going to be a new rule and provision that if Notre Dame is in the top 12, they automatically have to make the college football playoff. So I don't know now if Notre Dame is going to wake up and now feel like, oh, well, now we have to join the ACC. I don't think that's it. Very simple. Win your games. If they had either beat Texas A&M or beaten Miami and then lost another random game on their schedule, I think they'd be in the college football playoff. I think they'd be in. But you can't lose your two marquee games. Basically just have one decent win. You beat USC, and I guess you beat Pitt, which is an okay win. Those can't be your crown achievements and then tell me that the system was unfair. No, you weren't good enough this season. I don't think Notre Dame should have made the college football playoff. But based on the system that we got, I at least understand why they feel like they should have been in the college football playoff. The committee did paint it like if you won out, you would be in the college football playoff. They then did what they thought they were supposed to do. And then at the last second, like the committee is pretty prone to do, they just changed the rules on the fly and then no one cares. And then we just all move on. And then we're mad at Notre Dame for them being upset at the rules. So I do kind of side with them just a teeny bit. Not a lot. I got about 20% of grace for Notre Dame. Now, I do think that they are now crying over spilled milk. Not going to a bowl game. Come on now. Like, we're not talking about they're skipping out on some 6-6 Birmingham Bowl or some bowl in Shreveport, Louisiana. We're talking about Notre Dame is skipping out on the Citrus Bowl. They're skipping out on a really big, important bowl because they're mad. They're mad at the SEC. They're mad at the Big Ten. They're mad at ESPN and ABC. So they're not going to let them make money off the Notre Dame brand. Be better. Skipping the bowl game to me is weak. It's weak is what I think it is. It's taking your ball and going home because you felt bad that you got left out by the committee and now you don't want to go out there and prove it. I'd love to see Notre Dame in a bowl game. I'd love to see Notre Dame go out there against Vanderbilt and prove to me why they should have been in the college football playoff. I'd love for Notre Dame to play BYU in a bowl game and show me why they should have been in the college football playoff game. But no. We're Notre Dame. We feel entitled. We should have been in this thing. You guys didn't give it to us. So now we're going to pout and cry and go on a media tour and tell everybody why we think the system is unfair for Notre Dame football. Give me a break.
Okay, so
casual fan hears this and says it's sour grapes. Notre Dame trying to be bigger than everybody, more important. You would say what?
Well, listen, everybody kind of wants to do right by their team. We felt like we did what we needed to do this season to earn a spot in the college football playoffs. We feel that we have one of the very best teams in the country. I think the majority of people who follow this sport so closely agree. Every indication we had from that first ranking suggested that that committee agreed with us. We were always being compared to Alabama. We couldn't possibly have ended the year any better than we did. I get why people think it's sour grapes, but it's disappointment, Dan. I mean, this is, we take this seriously, as do other universities. And, the rankings can't just be musical chairs at some, 5th grade birthday party. They have to mean something. And to me, what happened to us really kind of was alarming.
All of this could have been avoided if you simply took care of your own business. You had an opportunity to win a playoff game. You played Miami at the beginning of the season. They beat you. And in the end, that ended up being the tiebreaker. This is where it frustrates me about these big-time schools. They want all the positives of playing Texas, Ohio State, Miami, Texas A&M, but they don't want any of the negatives. You know what could happen. If you get in a fight, there's a chance the other person beats you up. If you get into a fight, there's a chance the other person knocks you out. If you agree to play a game, there's a chance you lose. And losing comes with consequences. And these college football teams, they want all the positives of playing in these games, but don't want to assume any negative for losing the game. They want the television dollars. They want the tickets. They want the parking. They want all of the things that come with you get a chance to host a major college football game, except when they lose. Then it's, oh, well, you can't penalize us for playing the game. Well, you knew the rules and the terms of engagement when you got into it. There's a chance you could lose. You know that. You know there's a chance you could lose. So I don't want to hear it. Notre Dame, I'm sorry. Again, I'm on your side like 20%. I think you make some fair arguments, and there's some truth in what you were saying. But ultimately, you were not in the playoff because you played a game against another team that was on the bubble, and you lost the ultimate tiebreaker. They beat you head-to-head in a game. Next year, win the Miami game, and you are in the college football playoff. That should be the message in all of this.
Here's my one thing where I feel a little bit bad for Notre Dame. First off, I agree with you. Not playing in a bowl game, loser material. But here's why I feel bad for Notre Dame. And I'm not trying to stand up for Notre Dame football. They're not the little guy. They don't need me to stand up for them. Do you know what the rules are in getting in the college football playoff?
No.
Because it seems made up as they go.
I agree.
And if you're going to make them up as you go, there has to be a little consistency. And it seems like Notre Dame got screwed. Because if you're going to tell me, if you're the committee and you tell me, hey, we are trying to preserve the value of playing in a conference championship game, that's why Alabama is in, then explain to me why BYU is not in. They played in a conference championship game, but they got punished for losing their conference championship game. Alabama did not get punished. If you're going to tell me that game is meaningless and can only hurt you, and thus we rewarded Miami, that's fine too. Then why is Notre Dame in, not over Alabama? Because they lost the game that does hurt you. Like, it just seems like we had different rules for Alabama versus Notre Dame versus Miami versus BYU. And I understand, we're complaining about teams 12, 13, 14, and 15. This is what happens in the NCAA tournament. We complain with teams 69, 70, 71, 72. It is the nature of sports. We complain about the people that get left out. But the College Football Playoff Committee doesn't seem to have concise rules. And when they come out and say things like, well, we're preserving the value of playing in your conference championship game, then you turn around and punish BYU. It doesn't make any sense to me, and it feels like you were just arbitrarily picking what does and doesn't matter, and now Miami's in, but Notre Dame's out, and even though 2 weeks ago Notre Dame was ranked higher than Miami and nothing has changed, now Miami's just better. It all seems made up as they go.
I 100% agree with you. We don't have these complaints in the NFL. There's a formula that everybody follows, everybody has signed up for. It does feel like, at least for, I would say, teams 8, 9, 10, possibly 11. Those like last 4 or 5 spots. It feels like it's based off vibes and brand recognition. That's what it feels like. It feels like it's based off vibes and brand recognition. Now, I mean, that stinks. I mean, I would say that Notre Dame is maybe the most visible brand in college football and got left out, and that's why this story has been as juicy as it's been. But I don't disagree with you. I think the committee did Notre Dame a disservice in how they communicated it throughout the season. And I understand their argument where we have been ranked ahead of Miami for the last 4 consecutive weeks. Now all of our information is in, and now, for seemingly no reason, you have now put Miami over us. That doesn't make any sense to us. So I do fundamentally understand their argument. But I also think in the end, it's tough for you to argue with me that you should be in over a team that beat you. If we were talking about Notre Dame and BYU who didn't play each other, or Notre Dame and Vanderbilt where we're just going off the metrics, that's a little bit more subjective to me. You can make a case for them, and that's sports, I would say. But you can't really make I think Notre Dame should be in over Miami, even though their metrics are the same and they lost to them. You just can't make that argument to me in a way that I would believe and would get me to be on your side of the argument. I'm just not buying it. Coming up on the other side, I want to ask you guys a question about Sunday's Chiefs game. We also got Patrick Mahomes set to join us coming up in about 30 minutes or so. Keep it locked in. It's The Drive.
This is Wyatt Thompson from K-State, and you're listening to The Drive with CDOT right here on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
FanDuel is the #1 sportsbook for same-game parlays, from points, rebounds, three-pointers, assists, and so much more. FanDuel is the best place to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat line live, all in an easy-to-use one-stop shop app. And right now is the perfect time to join because new customers get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So bet on the players that you love the way that you want. Head over to FanDuel and use my promo code FanDuel.com/KFNZ to sign up today. FanDuel is the best place to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat line live, all in an easy-to-use one-stop shop app. FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued with non-withdrawable bonus bet, which expires 7 days after restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement Kansas Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Get up with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit kansasgamblinghelp.com.
Hey, Chiefs fans, Crown Royal is the official whiskey of the Kansas City Chiefs. And this season, it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with the Crown Royal rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with a generous spirit. Visit www.crownroyal.com/Royal Rig for more on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
BetMGM is now available in Missouri. Sports fans in Missouri can sign up for BetMGM using bonus code DUSTY and get up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if their first bet does not win. Enjoy a betting app that was designed for game day. Get into hockey, basketball, and pro football with features like live bets, same-game parlays, BetMGM rewards points, and surprise boosts dropping in your account all throughout the season. It's everything a sports fan could want in one app. BetMGM is now available in Missouri. Sign up today using bonus code DUSTY to receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Minimum deposit of $10 to participate. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly.
Men, if the long lines to the bathroom have been holding you back from attending sporting events and you're waking up in the middle of the night dealing with frequent urination, it could be an enlarged prostate. Jeff Montgomery here to talk about the minimally invasive procedure I had that made a big difference. I went to Dr. Brown at Miva Medical, the leader in minimally invasive treatments in Kansas City. The procedure was quick and easy, and I'm very happy with the result. Don't put up with being uncomfortable. Contact Miva Medical. That's MIVA-medical.com.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, nice job, Pete. I like those clean lines. Fellas, do we have anyone that can get to Greenport today?
At Corey's Landscaping, the staffing plan is in the weeds.
Anthony, we need that leaf blower over here. 3 more new customer requests just came in. Who wants to work some overtime?
He needs to dig up quality landscapers and fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This afternoon, expect sunny skies with a high of 42.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have an easy holiday at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, shipping supplies and services to get your packages there safely, even custom cards and wrapping paper. Staples. That was easy.
The Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 Enrichment Grant is providing one local high school $20,000 to use on upgrades and equipment. Open to all area schools and no strings attached. Take a minute to tell us what your high school needs at helpmymocanschool.com, and we'll announce the winner January 4th on the Chiefs Radio Network. You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
All right, coming up in a bit, we're going to play our conversation for you with Platte County head coach Bill Oots. They have won 28 consecutive games at Platte County. They also have the Simone Award winner, their quarterback. And they won the state championship in back-to-back seasons. So we'll play that for you here coming up in just a bit. Now, I'm going to ask this question. I'm only asking this question because we have to come up with something to talk about. So I don't want you to shoot the messenger. I don't want you to go back to your friends. I can't believe what they said on the radio. Hey, we just be talking. Do you think the Chiefs fans have some fair weather energy right now? I asked that question because on Sunday Night Football, the tickets got down to $20. It was $20 to get into the building. Rob, it was around $50 to $60 to sit lower level, $100 if you wanted to sit, premium. You could have sat right behind the bench for about $100 if you really wanted to. I am on StubHub right now. It's Wednesday, so we know the demand for this game is not going to go up as we get closer to the game. The demand is going to go down. Rob, how much do you think the cheapest ticket is to go to Sunday's game? So Sunday, I don't think we're expecting any inclement weather. It's going to be, a decent December day. How much do you think it is to go to the game?
I'm going to bet it's similar. We played this game with Nate Taylor last week. I'm going to bet it's similar numbers. So I'm going to say $50 to get in.
Right now, you can get the cheapest tickets right now on StubHub are in section 314, row 14, $40, including fees. You can go in, you can get a pair of tickets for the Chiefs games, and those are not bad seats. They're not great seats.
No, it's not a club level, but you're not upset sitting there.
100%. You could be sitting way worse at the Chiefs game than sitting uppers row 14 in the end zone. Do you think that's fair weather energy?
I think there is a sect of Chiefs fandom that is fair weather. Now, I know what's going to happen when I say that. The Texans going to pop off with, what are you talking about, Rob? I watched Todd Blackledge, so I'm a real fan. Yes. You are a real fan. You know who I'm talking to when you hear this. But there are definitely some fans whether you've seen them at Arrowhead or on social media or went to high school with them, and now they're like, man, I've loved the Chiefs, and it was so devastating when D Ford happened. That's not devastation as a Chiefs fan. You felt devastation before that moment time after time after time. So there is a sect of the Chiefs kingdom that has some fair weather energy, and I think they are hurting ticket prices for this weekend. The real ones will still be out there, but there's a sect that enjoyed it as a party, and it feels like the party's over.
I'm going to say this, and I don't think people will acknowledge it, and we'll play the Bill Oots here. I want to give the high school coaches their day. I think there is a group of Chiefs fans that are somewhat happy. This is why. The Chiefs have cost you a lot of money in January over the last 5-6 years. A lot of money. You finally get a break. Think about that. For the last 5-6 years, you have had to rope off a portion of your funds, and they have gone to this thing. You now get a break. You can now spend that money on a vacation. You can spend that money on yourself. You can spend that money on whatever you want to spend it on. I don't think some Chiefs fans will acknowledge it, but there is a group of Chiefs fans that are like, it's okay. It's all right. Hey, we've gone to the Super Bowls. We've done all of these things. It's going to stink that they're not in the playoffs. But you know what? Hey, I'm going to save $2,400 this January because they're not in the postseason. I don't think Chiefs Kingdom will acknowledge it, but I do think there is a portion of fans that are just like, hey, we've had a good run. I don't want them to make the playoffs. Go ahead, tank, retool, get the 14th overall pick, and we'll start over next year, and I can keep a little bit of my funds we head into these last final 2 games of the season. Earlier today, I got a chance to be joined by Bill Oots. He is the head coach at Platte County. Platte County has won 28 consecutive games, and they have won back-to-back state championships at the 5A level. I asked him, was there a moment when he realized that he was the coach of a very special high school team?
Well, first of all, I appreciate the kind words for sure, and there's a lot of great teams in the area that will probably argue with you and definitely have a good argument to go along with it. But I would say last year we had a situation where we had really solid back-to-back classes. Like for instance, our whole program a year ago was undefeated. So varsity, JV, freshman level, all won games. So we had a really nice group together. They complemented each other really well, and you kind of saw at the beginning of the season that there's a good chance of having something pretty special, as long as you got a little bit lucky and you stayed, injury free and so on and so forth. And then obviously once we got rolling with that, and our offense got even more confident. You felt pretty good going into last season, and then returning so many on offense. I think we had to replace three offensive linemen, but all of our skill kids were back. Or for the majority of them were back. We lost a few receivers too, but and a tailback. I keep getting both people, but to have the majority of your kids back, a lot of your playmakers back, you felt pretty good going into this season, the experience that we had, and so on. You knew that there was an opportunity to get back to it. The expectation is definitely there. I mean, we have that expectation every year. The kids bought into that, and so we knew we had a shot to get back to it as long as we could get our younger defensive kids to kind of form into what we anticipated. And luckily things went well. Our playoff run was pretty impressive, and kids stepped up and did the things they needed to do.
Right now, we're talking to Bill Oots. He is the head coach at Platte County. Platte County has won 28 consecutive games. They have won back-to-back state titles in Class 5, currently on the middle of a 28-game win streak. I want to get you out of here with these last two questions. Let's start with this. What do you think this means for your community? One thing that everybody has is a great pride of where they come from, a great pride of their high school or their college or their neighborhood. What is it like to be in the middle of this streak in the community? How has the community embraced you? How has the community embraced these kids and supported you along this journey?
Yeah, it's been amazing. And, the history of our program, if you go all the way back, this is, I think, just doing the research, this is only the third best, longest winning streak. I mean, we've had a great program over the years, and this community has been supportive the whole time. And I mentioned this to somebody earlier in a different interview, and one of the things that I think people overlook is that, yes, we're in this as a profession. Yes, we're in this, the kids, it's a kids team, and it's something that they remember and so on. But it's also about the school district, and more importantly, it's about the community that your school district's in. We're blessed to be a one high school. It's about, but the district itself is spread out, and the community support that we've had for years, for many, many years, has just been amazing, and it's no different this year. And so you literally, when you look back on it and you kind of get caught up in the surface of what's happening like right now, and we're in such a what have you done for me today type business, that it's hard to kind of look at the big picture sometimes. But our youth program is absolutely amazing. Our community support is absolutely amazing. And when you tie all that in and you truly play for other people, it just makes it that much more special. And it gives such a pride for the people that are in the community. All of a sudden we started seeing a lot more sweatshirts and T-shirts being worn last year, and now you see them, all the time, and it's so. It's a great way to get a lot of pride in your community, and I think we do a nice job of encouraging everybody to have ownership in this victory. Well,
last thing here, let's talk about your quarterback, Rocco Marriott. He had a phenomenal season. I'm looking through his numbers. He threw for 3,700 yards and 54 touchdowns. He also ran for 900 yards and had 14 touchdowns. He had like a video game kind of season. What is it like to be the coach of a player that is just that dominant?
Well, he's a very good player. I mean, I don't want to take even remotely a bit away from him. I think in our stat compile, we're kind of doing some year-end things, and I think in his career, his all-purpose yards for his career is like over 11,000. I mean, it's just just video game numbers, as you said, and honestly, everybody around him. I mean, I have an extremely skilled 26 class that is just they're really talented, and to have a guy at your quarterback spot that is such a dual threat, and because he can hit you on your with his legs, and then has a tremendous arm and an arm that can put the ball anywhere on the field. I mean, he's not limited to throws. It just makes it it's really hard for teams to defend him, and then obviously being able to put an offense and to formulate an offense around him with some of the other kids that we have, it just it makes it fun, and you can be kind of creative, but you don't have to be too creative because there's kids there that can get the job done. So, we're blessed to have him. It's been a special time. He's had a tremendous career, and the crazy thing is, I think his best football is still yet to come, and so we're excited to have him in the program, and I know he takes a lot of pride of being here as well.
Absolutely. Congratulations to Platte County. They won the 5A state championship. That was their head coach, Bill Oots, joined us. They have won 28 consecutive games. They have won the state championship in back-to-back seasons, and their quarterback, Rocco Marriott, won the Simone Award. He was the best high school football player in the city this year. Coming up on the other side, there will be a positive in how the season has gone. I'll explain. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, a show that prides itself on getting it right.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
Hellsberg gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for Mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for Dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop in store at hellsberg.com for up to 50% off.
At Busey, banking is about more than numbers. It's about relationships. For over 150 years, we've been helping individuals, families, and businesses reach their goals with personalized service and local decision-making. Whether you're opening your first account or planning your next big move, we're here with the tools and support to help you move forward with confidence. Busey Bank, your partner for life's moments, both big and small. Member FDIC.
Men, we hear it all the time. A man comes in to get his erectile dysfunction treated, and very soon thereafter, he tells us that his relationship is renewed. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and you should know that ED doesn't just affect you, it also often affects your partner. They can feel undesired, unwanted, they may even feel like you don't love them anymore. At Heartland Men's Health, we've successfully treated thousands of men for ED with protocols that have success rates as high as 90%. Which means if you're like most men, we can get you back to the guy you used to be. You could even last up to an hour or more and find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and give your partner the gift of renewed love. Your first visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in our office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. That's heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Arvest Bank believes in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to supporting those who serve our communities. We believe that all communities deserve a financial partner who cares. Arvest, We believe.
Hey, it's Cody and Gold telling you about our friends over at Centric, where your career in tech can start. Just take it from Becky, who's in charge of student success.
Hi, I'm Becky Sears, Student Success Advisor at Centric. My role is really about supporting students, whether that's with their coursework, time management, or just learning to be a student again. I'm here to help students succeed every step of the way.
Over 1,800 companies have hired Centric grads, a 95% student retention rate in 2024, and an 18-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio. Find out more. Go to Centric.com and talk to our buddy Russ.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Joe?
I started a woodworking business. I was able to build beautiful furniture, but had no handle on the business side of things, so quickly fell behind in my taxes. 1 year of being behind in taxes quickly turned into 5 years. I ended up owing almost $37,000.
Then Joe found tax relief advocates.
I would hear ads for tax relief advocates. One day it just clicked. This is my exact situation that I'm in. So I wrote down the number and called from the car when I got home that day. TRA saved me 99% of what I owed the IRS, and that brought a huge sense of relief.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Joe did and called TRA for a consultation.
I'm really happy that I made that call, and I finally felt like I could breathe again.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-513-5321. 800-513-5321. That's 800-513-5321.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Chiefs coverage this past hour has been brought to you by WaysideWaves.org. Save a life this holiday season.
Wayside rescues thousands of animals each year. Your gift today provides a complete circle of life-saving care they need to heal and find loving homes. Donate today, and your gift will be matched. Visit WaysideWaves.org to make your life-saving gift today.
Listen to the Chiefs and Chargers on Sunday with pregame starting at 9. Kickoff at noon with Mitch, Danon, and Kling. Right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. KFNZ FM and AM. HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. An Odyssey sports station.
Coming up in about 10 minutes or so, we'll play for you our conversation with the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. I got a chance to catch up with him earlier today. So let's talk about this. Now, I don't want to spin it like missing the playoffs is some positive. It is obviously not, especially when you have championship, Super Bowl, or bust aspirations the way that the Chiefs do. It is a disappointment, no question. The Chiefs might be the biggest disappointment of any team in the National Football League, but if I can point out a positive in all of this, it is the dangers of a first place schedule. So, Rob, I looked this up. I looked up Denver's differences in their schedule, Kansas City, and also the Los Angeles Chargers, and we can go through them. So, all three of those teams had to play one team from the AFC North. The Chiefs played the Baltimore Ravens because they won that division. Denver played the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Chargers played the Steelers. I think that that's pretty comparable across the board. I mean, Kansas City certainly got the Steelers when it was the right time, or excuse me, the Ravens, right when it was the right time to get them. You remember, the Ravens were a super banged up and beat up team, and that was one of the more impressive wins for Kansas City. I would say, if we are now playing it out, I would say that the Chargers probably got the toughest out of those three teams, just based on where you played them. The Ravens were not a good football team when the Chiefs played them. The Chiefs, so all three of these teams had to play a team from the NFC North. Pretty difficult division we thought it was going to be. Well, Denver plays Green Bay. They haven't played them yet, but that's coming up on their schedule. The Chiefs played the Lions, and the Chargers played the Minnesota Vikings. That was their game in the NFC North. So, I mean, a difficult stretch there. The Lions, you won that game, but certainly no cupcake. That looks like a team that if they can get healthy and get right, they can make a Super Bowl run. Denver still has to play Green Bay. I think you could argue Green Bay is either the best or second best team in the NFC. We'll see how things shake out. Now, this is where the Chiefs were at a significant disadvantage compared to their other teams that were in the AFC West. So all three of these teams had to play a team from the AFC East. Kansas City got Buffalo because Buffalo won their division and Kansas City won their division. The Chargers played the Dolphins and Denver played the Jets this season. That is a substantial difference in how you break those things down. So Kansas City played a game on the road against one of the Super Bowl contending teams. We know they lost that game, while Denver got a game against the Jets. They won that game. And the Chargers played a game against the Dolphins. They also won that game. So if you want to play this thing out to next season, and I don't know exactly what divisions all three of these teams are going to get, man, when you spun the wheel and your three teams were Ravens, Lions, and Bills, you got a bad draw when it comes to it, especially when the Chargers got Pittsburgh, Minnesota, and Miami. So next year, when we're looking at the Chiefs' schedule, there's going to be 14 of those games that end up being the exact same. You guys are going to have the same schedule, but that's where it's going to be different. It's going to be different because you're not going to be playing the Ravens, Lions, and Bills. You're going to be getting Tennessee and a couple of these other teams that finished in third place in their division, because it looks like the Chiefs are going to finish in third place in their division.
It is a silver lining to what is a really disappointing season, and calling it really disappointing is a bit of an undersell. It was cataclysmic type of season. I will say this, though. I don't want to diminish what you're saying because I understand your point. But I feel like sometimes when we play the schedule game, we act like we know what a team is going to be, but we don't really know. Because if you were to say last December, hey, the Chiefs are going to get the Patriots next year, you would have been like, oh, that's great news. Gerard Mayo's a terrible coach. Who knows if Drake May is the guy? You know, after all the success of the Brady and Belichick era, boy, the Patriots are down. I would love to get the Patriots on the schedule next year. Fast forward 12 months, having the Patriots on the schedule, not a positive. I would have told you 12 months ago, the Lions are going to be in the Chiefs' schedule. You would not have been gleeful, but the Lions were not some world beater this year. So getting them on the schedule wasn't bad. A year ago, when this is around the time those schedule information leaks out, the Commanders a year ago were on the Chiefs' schedule. You thought, oh boy, Jaden Daniels, year 2, what they're going to make the playoffs this year. If they make a run, they're coming to Arrowhead. That looks like a dangerous game. Let me tell you something. The Commanders were not at any point dangerous this year. So I understand your point, and I do think it's valid. The schedule will be lighter next year for the Chiefs because that's how the NFL does it. It's how they bake parity into their league. But I also think playing the schedule game 12 months in advance is a little bit foolish because you don't know what you don't know about the NFL.
100%. But I'm just saying is based on the information that we have right now, I will take my chances knowing that the Chiefs are going to play one of these we don't know what divisions they're going to get, but they are going to play 3 of these 7 teams next year. Miami, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Washington, Detroit, Atlanta, San Francisco. They're going to play 3 of those 7 teams. They finished in third place. Based on how the rotation is, they're going to play 3 of those teams coming up this upcoming season. So I don't know what divisions they're going to play and they're not going to play. But if they got Miami, I don't care where they are. I'm picking the Chiefs to win that game. I don't know anything about Miami heading into next season. I know they ain't good. I'll take my chances.
I mean, I agree with you, but Miami does have the exact same record as the Chiefs right now.
I'll take my chances against Miami if that's the case.
I understand your point, but the Dolphins are the exact same record, so it's hard to definitively say.
Coming up in just a little bit, we'll play our conversation with the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. Sometimes it feels good to be on the right side of an argument. So I was listening to the What's Right with Nick Wright podcast, and Nick had almost the exact same take that I had yesterday in the Open when it comes to the AFC and the AFC playoff picture.
The Bills have to make the Super Bowl this year. If they walk into the playoffs and the Ravens aren't there and Joe Burrow's not there and Patrick Mahomes isn't there, it would be a catastrophe for Buffalo to not make the Super Bowl. Standing between them, Bo Nix's Denver Broncos, first playoff appearance, Drake May, the Prince, and the Jags, a moribund offense in Houston, 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers, and then the Chargers and Justin Herbert. It could not be better set up for them. The hater in me also feels like having the yeah, but you won the Super Bowl the year Mahomes wasn't in the playoffs. I mean, it's like a mini Super. I'm just letting everyone know I might turn into the next few months a world-class hater.
Now, I understand the point that Nick is trying to make. I can't let that fly. I really can't let that fly. No. It's not like Kansas City missed the playoffs because Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL in the second game of the season and they had Gardner Minshew start this year, and that's why they missed the postseason. This isn't a Brady Matt Castle year where the Patriots were coming off an undefeated season and then Brady basically didn't play the next year. I ain't letting that fly. There is no asterisk by Buffalo's accomplishments if Buffalo goes to and potentially wins the Super Bowl. You had all the chances in the world to go to the postseason. You didn't go to the postseason. You got to move out of the way, and you got to let somebody else get their shine. So I'm not going to let anybody. I'm not letting the text line. I'm not letting Nick Wright. I'm not letting anybody try to put an asterisk or a yeah, but if Buffalo ends up breaking through. Kansas City had all the opportunities to break through. They didn't. Buffalo got it this year. You got to tip your cap, and you got to give credit where credit is due. But he and I 100% agree on the other point. There's only one team in the AFC that has to go to the Super Bowl. New England doesn't have to go. Houston doesn't have to go. Denver doesn't have to. Jacksonville, whatever other team you can name. It is not Super Bowl or bust for them. It absolutely is for Buffalo. Buffalo could be walking into a postseason with no Kansas City, no Baltimore, no Cincinnati, and you're going to let Drake May cut the line? You're going to let Bo Nix cut the line? No, absolutely not. Buffalo 1,000% has to represent the AFC or their season. I don't care what they do. I will deem it to be a failure. You missed. Because if you told every single Buffalo fan that you could see into the future, that you were that so Raven, that you could see that there would be a postseason that wouldn't have Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and Joe Burrow, and you still didn't go to the Super Bowl, you failed. You get an F for the season. I don't care how many regular season games you win. They're not going to win their division in Buffalo, and you didn't go to the Super Bowl, even though the deck was stacked in your favor. A monumental disappointment if Buffalo does not find a way to play their final game of the season in San Francisco this year. All right, every Wednesday on our show, we are joined by the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. Hit it, Rob.
He's QB1.
And at quarterback from Texas Tech, number 15, Patrick Mahomes.
He's a three-time Super Bowl champion.
Mahomes moving to his left laterally, chased, holding it, and gets out of bounds and up the sideline. He's not out of bounds yet. He's at the 10, inside the 10, he dives for the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. A remarkable acrobatic scramble on a 27-yard run. Maybe the best play yet.
Two-time MVP and three-time Super Bowl MVP.
Patrick Mahomes with Mahomes magic. Starting left, peeling right. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns for the Chiefs.
And you can hear him right here every week with CDOT, exclusively on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Here's Patrick Mahomes.
So every week, Patrick Mahomes' appearances on the show are brought to you by our good friends over at Telly Tire and Auto Centers. Winning starts with the great drive. Since 1942, Telly certified techs have delivered complete car care with top brand tires and expert auto service. Keep your drive going. Take it to Telly. Visit tellytire.com today. Earlier today, I got the opportunity to be joined by the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Our conversation started with he is an alum of Texas Tech University. They have made the college football playoff. What does he make of their draw?
Yeah, obviously we're in a good spot getting the bye. Those guys earned it. Now it's just preparing and getting ready to play a good football team whenever that game gets decided between Oregon and JMU. I wish we'd have been able to play in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, but it'll still be great to play. I think it's the Orange Bowl in Miami, so it'll still be a great environment.
There's been a lot of debate about Miami and Notre Dame. You're a big college football fan. I want to get your opinion. What did you make of the decision for the committee to take Miami over Notre Dame?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it kind of goes to that head-to-head record. That's kind of been the standard for a long time, and even though I actually think Notre Dame might have been playing better football going in, but when it comes down to head-to-head, you have to take the team that won.
A couple more things I want to get your opinion on. We finally know which games are coming to Kansas City for the World Cup, man. Really cool that Argentina is the first game. You get the defending champion. You get Lionel Messi in town. Really excited for the World Cup next June.
Yeah, no, it's going to be amazing. It's going to put Kansas City on the world stage, and I know Kansas City will show up. It's going to be really cool just to be a part of that, and hopefully get to attend some of the games and get to see the greatest of the great playing at Arrowhead.
I'm guessing that people have been starstruck when they've seen you. Have you ever been starstruck when you've seen somebody else? Like, you've let Lionel Messi a couple of times, and I'm imagining, like, it's maybe the greatest soccer player of all time. Has there ever been an athlete or somebody that you've met that had you starstruck?
I would say not necessarily. I mean, I think when I was younger, like seeing like Alex Rodriguez and Derek Jeter, just because I was a kid and I was a fan of those guys, was definitely an experience. But I think just growing up in the locker room and then in clubhouses, I got to see a lot of people. It was a blessing, and it kind of showed me that they're just regular guys, man. They're regular people that go about their business at a higher standard than a lot of others that play the sport.
I got to get your opinion on this before we get to the game on Sunday. Phillip Rivers is back. You guys have certainly had your battles against one another. What is it like to see him back in the league?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool because, that's what I watched growing up and obviously played a lot of football games against, and someone that just truly loves football. You know, at the end of the day, I think that's what it is that he loves coaching football, playing football, whatever it is, and so he got another opportunity to be back in the building, and he jumped all over it.
Right now, we're talking to the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Let's go back to Sunday's matchup. Patrick, can you take us inside the decision to go for it on the 4th and 1 from the 31st-yard line? Is that a conversation that you were having with the coaching staff? Just take us through that thought process.
No, not necessarily. I think it's just more kind of with the mentality that we had going into the game, knowing there was going to be pivotal moments and thinking we were going to go out there and make those plays in those pivotal moments. And obviously, we didn't make the play happen, but at the end of the day, we had talked about being a little aggressive in certain moments in the game, and we were aggressive at that moment, and it didn't work in our favor.
Do you feel like that was the right time to be aggressive?
I mean, obviously it didn't happen, so you always look back at it and say, man, I wish maybe something here or there, but at the same time, if it would have worked, we'd be talking about the different things, so that's kind of just part of football, and so I just live with my decisions regardless of if it's positive or negative.
You're obviously very accustomed to having success in your NFL career. You guys have been at the highest of highs. Right now, you guys are in the middle of a slump. What's it like to be in the middle of the slump for really the first time prolonged in your career?
Yeah, I mean, it's different for sure. I mean, I ever since I've been in the NFL, even before I started, we were winning football games. And so to be in this position where it's kind of not in our fate anymore, where we have to just try to win every game that we can and hope for the best that other teams are losing. It's not a great feeling to be in, but at the end of the day, you got to accept the challenge, man. You got to accept the adversity that you're in and hope that you can come out better on the other side.
Travis talked about this on his podcast earlier today, that, you know, every season where you guys have kind of had those dips, he's been able to find the answer. It's obviously been a little bit different this time. How frustrating is it for you to obviously be able to identify what some of the problems are, but not always have the solution?
Yeah, I mean, we're making different mistakes every game. It's not like it's just one thing. So when we get one thing corrected, it's like we make a different mistake somewhere else. And so for us, you got to keep pushing, man. You got to keep trying to get better. And there's nothing you can really do other than just try to better yourself every week and put yourself in position to win the rest of the football games.
Right now, we're talking to Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm sure by now you watched the film. You also have those moments where you go back and you replay certain things that happen. Is there a throw? Is there a moment? Is there something that happened in the game that if you could go back, you'd like a do-over?
Yeah, I mean, I think just early in the game, there was a play where I had Hollywood over the middle, and I wish I would have just laid it over the top and gave him that reception there and just took the yards that were there. I think I tried to step up and thinking I could step up in the pocket and maybe hit Hollywood further down the field, or even Tyquan breaking open when the safety was driving Hollywood. And just knowing the situation in the game, not taking the sack, I think that's the only one that I really kind of go back and look and wish I would have just taken what was there instead of being a little too aggressive in that moment.
You guys have obviously had some down locker rooms in your career. Where would you kind of put this and just some of the frustration, disappointment that the team felt after this loss on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we know we're in a bad spot. I mean, we always have had the opportunity to kind of dig ourselves out of holes, and I always had it on ourselves to be able to go out there and do it. And obviously, right now we're in a bad spot because we're not controlling our own destiny. But at the same time, man, we're gonna still have that mentality that we've always had to go out there and play our best football and try to just win. You know, you try to win all the games and then let's see how the rest handles itself. But at the end of the day, all you can do is come in with the right effort and the right mindset every day.
I was just going to ask you that, just like right now, your mentality and keeping the confidence in the team, because you mentioned it. You don't control your own fate right now, but it is not unrealistic to think that you guys can make the postseason when you look at some of the formulas and the scenarios. You guys are still very much in this. How do you keep guys' confidence high where step one is you guys got to take care of your own business?
Yeah, I think you just said it. I mean, we understand that we got to take care of our business first. We got a lot of stuff to clean up, and we understand it, and we got to go out there and do it now. And so all we can do is play the Chargers this week, and that's a really good football team that's playing really good football right now. And so if we can find a way to just get ourselves going in the right direction and find a way to win this game, then we'll move on to the next week. But right now, that's all we can do is play the Chargers and be the best that we can be.
Travis looked very down on the sideline, looked despondent on the sideline. Is that a conversation that you go over there and you have with him, maybe privately, maybe later? Is that something you just let him work through? How is a leader, and obviously that's your friend, you guys have a close personal relationship, how do you handle it when your teammate, your brother, is down?
Yeah, man. I mean, we've been through a lot of highs and a lot of lows, more highs, thankfully, but I know how he's going to respond, man. I just know the championship mindset that he has and the mentality that he has. That's why he's in the position that he's in, where he's going to get a gold jacket one day. So we talk and all the time, win or lose, and we always have conversations about how we can make ourselves better and make the team better. But at the end of the day, man, I know how he's going to respond just because that's how he's done it his entire career.
Obviously, nobody at this stage of the season is 100%. You kind of favored your knee a bit at times on Sunday. How do you feel physically heading into this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've played a football season. You know, everybody's kind of banged up and has hit things here and there, but I'll be ready to go, and I'm excited to get back out there on the football field and try to do whatever I can to get back in a better mindset of winning football.
Right now, you're dealing with the knee injury, and you look at Justin Herbert. He's got that non-throwing hand wrapped. You can see that he's obviously dealing with that injury. You just mentioned it. Everybody's banged up at this point of the season. How difficult is it to play your best while you're in the middle of being injured?
I mean, I think that's just what makes football so special is that it's a long season. It's a lot of games, a lot of hits, and you have to be tough and go out there and perform when you don't feel the best. And I have a lot of I have a lot of I don't know what the word is. I have a lot of admiration for how Justin always battles through injury and goes out there and plays his best football. And that's what it's all about, especially at the quarterback position. Is if the guys are going to sacrifice their bodies to block for you and do that different type of stuff, you have to be able to sacrifice your body to give it all on the football field as well. And so it's two teams that are fighting to try to go out there and win a football game, and I'm sure it'll be a great battle.
One of the things about football is it teaches you things. What are you learning about yourself in the middle of all of this?
Yeah, man. I mean, when stuff's good, you can always be happy and be excited and be ready to come to work. But it's when stuff isn't going your way, how do you respond? How you come into the building with what mindset are you in? And that's something that I have to continue to do every single day. And so we're obviously not in the place we want to be at, but I'm going to push myself and try to push my teammates to be the best that we can be, and so we can play better football coming up on this Sunday.
I'll get you out of here with this. Let's just talk about the focus heading into this matchup. We mentioned it earlier. You guys are still very much in this, but it starts with you taking care of your own business. You got a good team coming into Kansas City, a team that obviously you know very well. What's your mindset? What's the team mindset? Where's your focus heading into this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're just going to go out there and try to play our style of football. You know, I feel like these last few weeks we haven't done that, and we have to get back to playing Kansas City Chiefs style football, and that's limiting mistakes, playing fast, and playing with energy. And I think that's something that we got to do this week.
That is a quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, joining us on the show today in preparation for their game on Sunday against the Chargers at noon at Arrowhead. Patrick, man, we'll catch up with you next week, man. Take care.
Yeah, thank you.
That was our conversation with the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. His appearance every week on the show is brought to you by our friends over at Telly Tire and Auto Centers. Winning starts with a great drive. Since 1942, Telly certified techs have delivered complete car care with top brand tires and expert auto service. Keep your drive going. Take it to Telly. Visit TellyTire.com today. Mathematically, the Chiefs, they are still in this thing. Now, the Chiefs don't control their own destiny anymore, and the Chiefs need help. But, I mean, we've gone through the playoff scenario. I would say the second half of the playoff scenario is not really that far-fetched. The Colts going 2-2 down the stretch is not super far-fetched. Not at all far-fetched. I would say the Chargers going 2-2, especially if, one of the losses is Kansas City. I can see the Chargers finishing the year 2-2. Not that hard to figure out. I would say the biggest thing is the Chiefs just have to start playing good football themselves. They have to go 2-0 against the Chargers and the Broncos, and the Chiefs just have to eliminate those mistakes. Now, it's up to you on whether or not you think the Chiefs are going to eliminate those mistakes. You guys know where I sit. I've been at this place for a while when it's come to Kansas City. But, I mean, they got 2 home games against teams in their division, teams that they know and teams that they very easily could have beaten earlier in the season. If this team can figure out a way to win those 2 games, it is not outside the realm of possibility that the Chiefs could sneak in the back door when it comes to the playoffs. If you think the Colts are out of this thing, like I believe the Colts are out of it and thought that before the Daniel Jones injuries, we're talking about, 2 teams really fighting for one spot when it comes to this? I still think there is a chance. Now, they're on the outside looking in. You got to do some work, but that work starts with you got to start winning games yourself. It doesn't matter what the Chargers do. It doesn't matter what Indianapolis does if you continue to lose games. So that conversation starts on Sunday with them against the Los Angeles Chargers. Coming up on the other side, Rob, we haven't spent a lot of time talking about the special teams. Let's talk about Harrison Butker. We'll do that next. Keep it right here, so Drive.
The Drive with CDOT. Tune in as Nate Taylor of ESPN joins the show in studio every Friday at 4 on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey, Missouri, if you haven't heard by now, good news. FanDuel Sportsbook is live in the Show Me State, and they're kicking things off with an offer that's tough to beat. Right now, new customers in Missouri can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. So whether it's football, basketball, hockey, or more, you can bet it all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. So download FanDuel today and head to FanDuel.com/Missouri and join the excitement. Remember, new Missouri customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. Because Missouri, it's time to play your game of FanDuel. FanDuel is the official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
The holidays are here, and so's the newest Academy Sports and Outdoors, right in your neighborhood. Score kids ride-ons that say, my 8-year-old's truck is nicer than mine. Grills and smokers that say, there is no wrong way to cook a turkey. And new Nike fleece hoodies that say, I keep it chill no matter the temp. Academy has all the legendary Christmas gifts your family wants at undefeatable prices, because here, fun can't lose. Win Christmas at your new Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Guys, thanks for helping me carry my Christmas tree.
Zoe, this thing weighs a ton.
Drewski, live with your legs, man.
Santa! Did you get my letter?
He's talking to you, Bridges.
I'm not.
Of course he did, right, Santa?
You know, my elf Drewski here, he handles the nice list.
An elf? I'm 6'3". What everyone wants is iPhone 17. And at T-Mobile, you can get it on them. That center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. Right, Mrs. Claus?
I'm Mrs. Claus's much younger sister. And at T-Mobile, there's no trade-in needed when you switch, so you can keep your old phone.
Or give it as a gift.
And the best part, you can make the switch to T-Mobile from your phone in just 15 minutes.
Nice. My side of the tree is slipping.
Timber!
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Switch in just 15 minutes and get iPhone 17 on us with no trade-in needed. With 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Finance agreement, 256 gigs, $830. Eligible port-in and new line, $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. This Christmas holiday, enjoy exclusive savings on our high-quality rechargeable hearing aids. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and shop Christmas holiday deals before they're gone at audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
A little bit of a slow go coming out of downtown 35 southbound past 27th. Right lane is blocked. Shawnee, tap your brakes one more time in this area. 35 southbound past 635. You're going to want to scoot to the left. Part of the right lane is blocked here. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Rashi Rice from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right. Coming up in a little bit, we will play our final high school coach interview. We are going to end things in Lee Summit. Lee Summit High School has been around for 70 years. They have never won the state championship in football until this past season. They started the year 0-4 and then went undefeated the rest of the way and won the 6A state championship. We'll be joined by their head coach coming up in just a bit. Their running back ran for 457 yards in the state title game. We'll talk to their coach about that coming up in a bit. If you missed it, we have had every local coach on whose team won a high school championship here locally. So they were all on the Missouri side this year. We had Kearney's head coach, Platte County's head coach, and we're going to have Lee Summit's head coach join us coming up in about 15 minutes. We'll also have a Carrington hypothetical button game coming up at the top of the next hour. All right, Rob. Maybe this is fair. Maybe this is unfair. But I believe that Harrison Butker is the example of what's wrong right now with the Kansas City Chiefs. I always feel like we have to say this anytime we talk about Harrison Butker. I do not care about Harrison Butker's beliefs or what he does in his free time. I don't care. Can you make the kick or not? That's all I really care about when it comes to Harrison Butker. You are allowed to do or believe whatever you want in your free time. Just stop missing kicks. So far this season, Harrison Butker has missed 8 kicks. If you combine regular field goals and extra points, the other 2 kickers who have missed 8 kicks, both have already been released. Now, the Chiefs, they can't do anything about Harrison Butker. And this is why I think he is everything that's wrong with the Chiefs. Harrison Butker signed a 4-year, $25.6 million contract that guaranteed him $17.7 million. We all celebrated that contract. I believe that Harrison Butker was worth that contract. And almost immediately after signing that deal, and now that the money has kicked in, he has now turned out to be a average to below average kicker in the National Football League. Well, what about those kicks in the Super Bowl? You're right. He made those kicks. But we're talking about now. And one of the reasons that the Chiefs will miss the postseason is because their kicker isn't good enough. And that's unfortunate in the era of the kicker and when you were paying your kicker more money than everybody else. Did you guys watch Monday Night Football? You want to know why the Chargers won that game? It was because their kicker was really good. So it's unfortunate that the Chiefs are spending more money than any team in the league. They're spending more money than any team in their division, and they don't have the second best kicker in their division. They have the third best kicker in their own division, and in some ways, they are stuck by this. Harrison Butker's base salary next year is $5.8 million. To put this into perspective, they spend more money on their kicker than they do their running back room this year. They spend a lot of money for kicking. So if you're going to spend that kind of money, hey, the kicking better be top notch. If you're going to go out and spend $200 on a tab at a restaurant, man, that plate better be amazing. And if it's not, you're thinking, man, I feel like I got ripped off. Wait, I paid for this, man. I'd have been happier just going to Chipotle. I'd have been happier just going down to Logan's for a steak. Why did I spend all of this? So the Chiefs spend $5.8 million. Rob, their cap hit for their kicker next year is going to be $7.3 million with a dead cap of $10 million. They can't cut Harrison Butker. So we're talking about, hey, this team needs to move on and get some fresh blood. Man, one of those fresh bloods might be they need a new kicker. But they are paying Harrison Butker for the kicks that he made against the Eagles, paying him for the kicks that he made against San Francisco, and those were super important. But now as we're talking about spinning it forward and we're talking about moving on and getting fresh and getting younger and cheaper and hungry and all those things, there's one part of your team you can't do anything about that has been disappointing. Their special teams is bad this year. It's not average. Their special teams is bad. They have one of the worst kickers by the statistics in the National Football League, and they get nothing from their return game. Whether it's Xavier Worthy fair catches everything and doesn't seem like he wants to get hit and is trying to preserve himself, whether it's Nico Remigio, who is giving you zero explosive plays in 2025 in the special teams game, whether it's Jack Cochran, when you finally get one, he holds somebody, and now that play gets taken off the board, man, their special teams is a negative. And one of their biggest problems is special teams, they just can't do anything about. So if we're looking at symptoms, hey, what's wrong with the Chiefs? Harrison Butker might be number one. We talk about Harrison Butker based off what he's done in the past, and he has had a tremendous career. Chiefs Hall of Famer, Chiefs Ring of Honor, clutch, made big plays. We're talking about today and now. He's missed more kicks than any active kicker in the National Football League. We spent the first 6 weeks of the season talking about Harrison Butker. And Rob, what was the stance on the text line? Well, I mean, he'll figure it out when the game gets important. It doesn't get much more important than the game that they had on Sunday. They needed Harrison Butker. What did he do? He missed the kid. They win that game if Harrison Butker makes that kick. And you're stuck. You can't do anything with this. It cost the Chiefs money to move on from Harrison Butker. It cost them money. He has a dead cap this year of $15.2 million. There was never a chance that they could cut him, never a chance they could bring somebody in, never a chance to work somebody out, and they basically put themselves in that exact same spot for next year. They can't do anything with Harrison Butker until 2027.
So I will say this, and the text line will agree with it in principle, but I feel like the text line and fans never agree with it in practice. But Harrison Butker is an encapsulation of the Chiefs' problem, because everyone always says you got to pay for future results, not past performances. Well, a lot of the Chiefs' problem this year is what they're paying for is past performances. Harrison Butker is making a lot of money as a kicker. You know what he's been doing? Not a lot as a kicker. Do you know what they've been doing with Chris Jones? He's not the player that they're paying for. There are other guys on this. I don't think Creed Humphrey is the player they're paying for. They are paying for past performances, and you have to do a better job of paying for future results. This is what made the Patriots the Patriots. They were cold-blooded. They were calculated. And you know what they were? Heartless. They walked on Hall of Famers. No thanks, on to the next. Ty Law became a Chief because the Patriots moved on. Mike Vrabel became a Chief because the Patriots moved on. Richard Seymour toiled away in Oakland because the Patriots moved on. Adam Vinatieri, who still had good kicks left in his leg, became an Indianapolis Colt because the Patriots moved on. The Chiefs, they haven't been moving on from guys. They did it with Tyreek Hill, and we applauded them, and we should have. This is how you keep a dynasty rolling. Since then, it's been like, hey, you're one of our guys. We love you. We're going to keep our arms wrapped around you.
On the text line, C-Dot, Xavier Worthy is hurt. I'm pretty sure he's being told just to catch the ball and avoid a direct hit. That also was his first game as a punt returner full time. So you have a below average kicker and you are putting a guy back there on punt returns that can't get hits. What are we doing here then? Why do they have all these different receivers then? Their special teams is bad. Their special teams is real bad. And part of the reason that they are going to miss the playoffs, it has not been a positive at any point for them this season. Their kicker has missed more kicks than anybody in the league. They haven't had a return touchdown or a block punt in 4 years. In a game in which we knew it was going to be a defensive battle, that we knew it was going to be close, man, being able to win the special teams battle goes a long way. The Chiefs got beat on 2 of the 3 phases in the game. That's why they lost. They got beat on offense. They got beat on special teams. And those 1 or 2 plays that Andy kept beating over our head with, hey, it's 1 or 2 plays. Man, those 1 or 2 plays are a missed kick. Those 1 or 2 plays are potentially having some explosiveness in the punt return game to put the offense in an ideal position to score. Hey, you put somebody back there, you make one guy miss. On kickoff, you make a guy miss. You get the ball at the 50-yard line. I mean, have the Chiefs taken advantage of the new kickoff rules? The new kickoff rules are designed to get you into field goal range. They're designed to give you a pop, a big play. They don't have it. So for an offense right now, at least in the game on Sunday, that felt like at times it was fighting with one hand behind their back, man, one way to get a little bit of explosiveness is to get something in the special teams game. They don't have it. They don't have it. They just don't have it. Harrison Butker, to me, is one of the biggest examples of their problem. The Chiefs are paying a lot of guys for helping them win the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, which I get it. You wanted to reward these guys. But now, when the season has gone a little bit left, man, those same contracts and those same players, those are the ones that are drowning you. The Chiefs lost that game because of their stars. They lost that game because Mahomes played one of the worst games of his career. They lost it because their Hall of Fame tight end was playing hot potato. They lost it because their Hall of Fame kicker and the most accurate kicker in league history missed another field goal. They lost this game because the foundation was not good enough on Sunday. Coming up on the other side, we're going to head to Lee Summit to be joined by their head coach. They started the year 0-4 and won the state championship for the first time in school history. We'll catch up with them next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Coming up Week 15 Pro Football Sunday, New Orleans hosts Carolina. Carolina, a 2.5 or a 3-point road favorite. Total in the game is 40.5. Huge game for Carolina, who still has designs on potentially winning the NFC South, but I like the way New Orleans is playing right now. Upset win last week on the road in Tampa. We liked New Orleans in that game. New Orleans rookie quarterback looks like he's for real, and Carolina every week, you never know what you're going to get. So coming up on Sunday, let's play New Orleans to win the game against Carolina. New Orleans plus 120 against Carolina. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app today, and please gamble responsibly.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
There are 2 kinds of guys out there. The hard-working, earn the victory guys, and the fake it till you make it guys. You know, the ones who build display cases for their participation trophies. This is Gene at House of Diamonds, and when those pretenders are out shopping for jewelry, they're probably shopping for lab diamonds, and that's sad because they've been sold a bill of goods, and no matter what anyone says, Just like any pretender, you really can tell the difference between a lab diamond and a real natural diamond. So when she takes that lab diamond in for an appraisal and learns that you just gave her a participation trophy, well, that just might be the end of her participation. Seriously, we appraise jewelry from other stores all the time, and I've seen a lot of anger and a lot of tears. Guys, this Christmas season, I'm here for you. Earn the victory. If the love is real, she deserves a diamond that's real from a guy that's real. Come see me at House of Diamonds on the southeast corner of College and Quivira.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. This Christmas holiday, enjoy exclusive savings on our high-quality rechargeable hearing aids. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and shop Christmas holiday deals before they're gone at audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
Whether you're a DIY enthusiast, a contractor, or business owner, Metal by the Foot has the perfect solution for you. Located in KC and Topeka, online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
A little bit of a slow go coming out of downtown 35 southbound past 27th. Right lane is blocked. Shawnee, tap your brakes one more time in this area. 35 southbound past 635. You're going to want to scoot to the left. Part of the right lane is blocked here. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
The Drive. First to breaking news in Kansas City.
We'll play our conversation with the head coach of Lee Summit High School here coming up in a bit, but we got some breaking news. Michigan has fired their head coach, Sharon Moore. This has been reported by basically everybody that covers college football. This statement is from the university. Sharon Moore has been terminated with cause, effective immediately, following a university investigation. Credible evidence was found that Coach Moore was engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. This conduct constitutes a clear violation of university policy, and the University of Michigan maintains a zero tolerance for such behavior. So, in what has already been a very wild coaching cycle, I mean, one of the top 5 jobs in college football has now just opened up out of nowhere. Sharon Moore, the head coach of Michigan, he is now available. I have no clue where Michigan is going to go. There probably was some coaches that would have taken the Michigan job. Man, a lot of those guys just re-signed their deal. Now, maybe they just promote their offensive coordinator. I mean, that could be what they end up doing, but who do you think is at the top list for them? I also think, man, Michigan's kind of one of those jobs. I think there's a guy that would leave the NFL and would be pretty interested in being the head coach at Michigan. You have a great fan base, great recruiting base. The NIL money is there. You're in the Big Ten. That's a marquee premium kind of job. This is massive, massive news. This is certainly not the end of the story. For you to fire him with cause, he is going to sue the university, and we'll find out more of the backstory of what happened and his relationship with this person. But that's a big-time breaking news that Michigan is looking for a new head coach.
And I don't know, maybe I'm missing a firing in some time. Have you ever seen a school be this specific with the verbiage on the day the news leaks out? It's not just off-field transgressions. It's off-field transgressions with cause because of an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. The University of Michigan feels pretty good about the reasoning they have to fire Sherrone Moore if they are coming out with all this information today. Like, also, do you think if Lane Kiffin could have it back, he would take the Michigan job over LSU?
No, I think he still takes the LSU job.
I think they're on the same tier to me.
I think the LSU job's better than Michigan. I think it is.
I think they are very close. I think when Michigan has that type of coach, they are one of the powers in college football.
Yeah, someone on the text line says, so it's against the rules to date a coworker. I mean, let's get more information about this because this is, pretty specific. He was engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. What is the nature of this inappropriate relationship? Like, they are firing him with cause. So I don't know. I'm reading you. This is the statement from their athletic director and why they fired him. So we don't know any more information than what I read for you. But for you to fire a pretty good head coach on the basis of that, I don't think this was just two grown, consenting adult relationship and they found out about it. Something tells me there's a little bit more there, but obviously innocent until proven guilty. Let's find out what happens at the University of Michigan. So we're going to start a new trend here. We interviewed every coach who was the head coach of a team that won state in high school football this year. So that happened in Missouri in Class 4A, 5A, and 6A. Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by Todd Miller. He is the head coach at Lee Summit. Lee Summit has been a high school for 70 years, and this is the first time that they have won the state championship. We asked the coach to take us through their magical run this season. In a year, they started 0-4.
Yeah, that 0-4 start, it was just kind of a dark cloud was over us for those first 4 weeks. We had quite a few injuries. Things just weren't clicking. Our locker room. There was a lot of things. I don't think we coached very well. Our defense was hanging in there, but offensively, we just, as a staff, we could have done things a lot better. And we just had a couple of injuries that kind of backed us up in the corner. And so we just decided to as a staff, to make a change. And we changed our offense. We went down to the bare studs and started over. The first game we did it was against Liberty North, and we got beat 35-34. But we competed, and we thought our kids played real hard. And then we got Lee Summit West the next game, and we kind of got going and got some confidence. Preston Hatfield, that went for 457 yards in the state championship game. He broke his leg in the first game. So we lost him for 8 weeks, and then we got him back in the Staley game, and he wasn't 100%, and I don't think he was 100% probably until the Liberty game in the playoffs. And once he got going there, we were pretty hard to stop. It's a pretty magical run. We were down in the fourth quarter in all of our playoff games except for our second half, all of them except for the North Kansas City game. So we constantly battling back. Some of the best games I've ever coached in, just just the excitement and going back and forth, and our kids just constantly found a way to win.
Right now, we're talking to Coach Todd Miller. He is the head coach at Lee Summit High School. They won the state championship for the first time in their school's history, 70 years. This is the first time that Lee Summit High School has won the state championship. I do want to talk about Preston Hatfield here coming up in a bit. You mentioned it, 457 yards and 4 touchdowns in the state title game. I want to get your take on how difficult was it to keep kids motivated and buying in the middle of a month of losing? I mean, it's hard to talk about pros staying bought in to the game plan. You got a bunch of 15 to 17-year-olds. How hard was it to get them to buy into what you guys were doing and also believe that they could turn things around?
Well, we lost a lot of guys. So, I mean, you look at our roster, we were down in the 50s, and you hit the nail on the head. People tend to walk away when things are going bad. That's just human nature. That's nothing against the kid or against the person. That's just the pretty typical thing. And the guys that stayed were the guys that were in. And we thought we could, with that nucleus, we could do some things. But we just kept preaching. You keep loving on them. You keep doing the same thing. Prepared. We were prepared every single week. The things we were doing when we were 0-4, we were still doing when we were in a 9-game win streak. It's just the result was a little bit different. And once our kids started believing and trusting, and we started trusting our kids, we became a pretty dangerous team by the end of the season. But it was probably the most difficult and lowest I've been as a coach, going through that 0-4 stretch, just to be honest. It's just hard, and losing's no fun. And our kids found a way to kind of persevere, and coaches too give our staff the credit of just keep working through it and keep grinding it out.
Right now, we're talking to Coach Todd Miller. He is the head coach at Lee Summit High School. They won state for the first time in their school's 70-year history. Let's talk about Preston Hatfield. The number just jumps off the screen, especially breaking a record by Kyron Williams, who is having a very successful career in the National Football League. What is it to be on the sideline when you were watching one of your kids have just one of those all-time days that he is going to tell his great-grandkids about?
It's just exciting. And it's exactly what we kind of talk about. We established a word that we kind of kept repeating in our meetings, which is Fergun, and it's Hebrew for having satisfaction or joy for someone else's success. And I think that's what we really tried to preach. And whether it was Peyton blocking for Preston, his twin brother, or it was Preston throwing a pass down the field and we catching it, or what the lineman blocking for him, it was just a team effort, and these guys really started gelling and playing into that with the respect of just seeing what he was doing. He played his best game at the pinnacle of high school career, right? It was like everybody was in slow motion, and he was, I know they call it the zone or whatever, but he was there. He was seeing things before they happened. He just had a real good grasp of where the concept was going schematically with how we were blocking things. And he was making guys miss in the hole, and then he was finishing runs and getting forward. He turned into a machine, and he was just rolling.
That is Todd Miller. He is the head coach at Lee Summit High School. Lee Summit, for the first time in their school history, they won the state championship in 6A. They started the year 0-4 and went undefeated the rest of the way and went to state. Congratulations to Lee Summit. Congratulations to Platte County and also Kearney High School. Those were the 3 area local schools that end up winning the state championship. Coming up on the other side, I have a question for Chiefs fans. Are you guys just over it? We'll talk about it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Tune in Mondays at 4 to hear the play-by-play voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holtis, on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Downtown, you've got 670 eastbound just past 35. It is the right lane blocked. Also, 35 southbound just past 27th. Scoot to the left, right lane blocked there. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
This season, enjoy stress-free comfort with easy booking and trusted service from Anthony. Save up to $4,500 on a new high-efficiency HVAC system. Schedule today at anthonyphce.com.
This is it, the moment you've been waiting for. Saturday, December 27th at Harrah's, Kansas City, Fortune takes center stage. Every 5 minutes from 2:40 p.m. to 10:55 p.m., we're dishing out $1,000 in free casino play, fueling the excitement all day long. But wait, there's more. At 11 o'clock, the spotlight shines on one lucky winner who will claim $25,000 in cash. Are you ready to win big? Only at Harrah's, Kansas City, where the luck is all yours. 21 and older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Men, if the long lines to the bathroom have been holding you back from attending sporting events and you're waking up in the middle of the night dealing with frequent urination, it could be an enlarged prostate. Jeff Montgomery here to talk about the minimally invasive procedure I had that made a big difference. I went to Dr. Brown at Miva Medical, the leader in minimally invasive treatments in Kansas City. The procedure was quick and easy, and I'm very happy with the result. Don't put up with being uncomfortable. Contact Miva Medical. That's MIVA-medical.com.
Gates Barbecue's distinctive flavors will make your holiday meals unforgettable. Spice up your holiday table with Gates sauces and seasonings. Prepare your meats, potatoes, and vegetables with Gates seasonings, and top it off with one of the 5 Gates sauces. While watching a game or your favorite holiday movie, sprinkle Gates original seasoning on a bowl of hot buttered popcorn. So good. You can buy Gates at your neighborhood grocer or online at gatesbarbecue.com. Gates Barbecue, still doing it the old-fashioned way. Thanks. With love.
Danon Hughes here. I've seen a lot of stat lines in my playing days, but these numbers, they caught my attention. Flight by Yingling. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, and all the crisp, refreshing flavor you want in a light beer. It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, so you know it's got some serious history behind it. If you're into stats and taste, you're going to love this beer. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer and the official beer of Danon Hughes. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
What's up, guys? It's Drew. You know, confidence is key. You hear that all the time when it comes to everything in your life. The players that we watch and all the winning that we see comes from players who are confident and are able to deliver when it matters most. What if you could be more confident where it counts? I'm talking about Blue Chew. They provide access to chewable tablets that help you feel and perform at your best. Stronger, harder, longer lasting, like someone gave your downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. Because showing up matters during life's most exciting moments. Day nights just got longer and better for everyone. Be ready when she is. Turn oh no into oh yes with Blue Chew. This isn't just about performance. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. There's an offer for you there. You get your first month free. When you use our promo code KFNZ at checkout, just cover $5 in shipping. That's it. Head to BlueChew.com for details and safety info. Then you're ready to chew it and do it.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door. RENNER forward and back.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Who knew a Halloween costume would change my life and lead me to Renner Garage Door? Renner's KC's go-to team for service, repair, and replacement.
RENNER, RENNER.
What's up, Kansas City? It's Nick Bolton. Tune in on game days to hear the play-by-play with Mitch, Danon, and Clean on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
All right, Rob, I want to get your take on this. I want to open up the phone lines. I want to take phone calls on this, 913-586-7965. I would say that Chiefs fans have walked around for the last 5 years with a deserved arrogance. You've been better than everybody. Your team wins more than everybody else. Your quarterback has more accolades than everybody else. Chiefs fans have been allowed to kind of peacock it a little bit. They've been able to walk around and strut their stuff, and you've been better than everybody else. That's not really how this season has played itself out. I wonder in some ways if Chiefs fans are over it. Because, Rob, maybe this is me just misreading the text line. There is a big group of people that are ready to just pack it in for the rest of the season, ready to start getting ready for the offseason and ready to start preparing for the NFL draft, that I was thinking this is a hypothetical button game. We don't even got to play it. Right now, if I told you there are two pathways for the Chiefs, one of the pathways ends up with them at 10-7. That seems like a realistic record for the Chiefs at the end of this season, 10-7. Last year, 10-7 would have got you the 18th overall pick in the NFL draft. That was Seattle's record last year. They were a 10-7 football team. Or if I tell you that the Chiefs turn things around, make it to the playoffs, they get to the second round of the postseason, and then you roll the dice and take it from there. I'm not going to tell you if they win. I'm not going to tell you if they lose, but I tell you that they go on a hot streak, they win the first game of the playoffs, and they get to the second round of the postseason. Which one of those options would you take? I think a lot of Chiefs fans would just say, I don't think they can go to the Super Bowl anyway. I don't think they can win the Super Bowl. Let me just take the 18th overall pick, and let's just prepare ourselves and get ready for the 2026 season. That's why I ask, are Chiefs fans just over it? That you were in it, you stayed in it for as long as you could, the Chiefs have let you down, and you now think that the best thing for this team to do is play less football in January and position themselves where they have a better selection in the NFL draft and start the process of rebuilding their roster. Which of those options do you think the average Chiefs fan would take, Rob? If we went to Talk of the Town, we went to the other place, and we just walked around and asked people, there are two options. The Chiefs go 10-7, miss the playoffs, and get the 18th overall pick. Or the Chiefs get hot, they make the postseason, they win their first postseason game, they go to the second round of the postseason, and then whatever they do from there, maybe they end up going on a run, maybe they lose that game, maybe they lose in the AFC Championship game, but this team gets hot, gets right, and goes into the postseason on a 5-game winning streak. I think there's a good portion of Chiefs fans that would just take the 18th overall pick.
I think what makes this question interesting is the wild card round win. Because I think if it was just playoffs and roll the dice or 18th overall pick, I think it would be overwhelming for the 18th overall pick. I do. But I think the fact that Chiefs have won a game in this hypothetical gives them a chance to get hot. I think it is closer to a 50-50 proposition. Because I think despite all the Chiefs' issues, and despite the fact that Chiefs are on the outside looking in or sub 500 and all those things, there is still an underlying belief that if they get it going, watch out. And I think that belief stems from what happened in 23. Because while vibes and everything is worse now than it was in 2023, we're kind of in the same spot. It was, hey, they're going to make the playoffs. You'll play the Dolphins at home. You'll get that one. But then it's Bills-Ravens. That's where the season comes crashing down. And the Chiefs went on a run, and as we know, won the Super Bowl. So I think the average fan would be willing to roll the dice because in your hypothetical, they get a first-round win. And from there, it's just 2 any given Sundays away from doing something special. So I think it's 60-40 would take the playoffs right now.
Because I'm looking at the text line right now, and someone just sent this in. CDOT, there's no shot. We all want the playoffs. How is this even a question? I can read to you texts that people are sending right now. CDOT, I've been checked out for about 3 weeks now. I'm ready to move on to the next season. It's now Kansas basketball season. Somebody else said that's not true. Someone else just texted in. I know this team isn't changing, so I'm mentally ready to rebuild and start for 2026. It is very much split now, I would say, with the fan base, if you even want them to make the postseason. That I would say, I have never seen this before. And this team and their season has beaten people down so much. A couple of weeks ago, the feeling was we got 15. If we get in the playoffs, we can make anything happen. I don't think fans believe that about this team. I don't think fans have lost that hope in a big picture sense. You obviously trust your quarterback and you feel like he will be back. I don't think people feel like Pat is enough to help this team win 3 straight weekends in January right now. I just don't get that feeling that that's how people feel. I don't know if Pat right now is playing good enough football to where you think that he can put it together for 3 straight weeks to help you win the Super Bowl. But I understand the concept of, hey, let's get to the playoffs. We'll roll the dice. We'll take our chances. And we trust our team going up against Bo Nix. We trust our teams up against Drake May. I think there is a portion of Chiefs fans that just seem to be over it with this team. I've given this team every possible leeway, every single excuse that I possibly could. And I think there is a portion of Chiefs fans, and we've talked about it, they've gotten there at different points, but they have finally reached the point of this team's not good enough. I mean, these games that they've been losing, they're losing to teams they're going to have to beat in that frame. Buffalo, Denver, Dallas, Houston. We're talking about possible playoff teams in all of this. I do think there is a pretty good-sized portion of the fan base that now that you ask them, would you rather make the playoffs or lose out and get the better draft position? I think it is a decent percentage of people that, hey, if we can't win the Super Bowl, let's just lose out the rest of these games. Let's try to get the best possible draft position that we can. Let's retool the roster and let's just start over for 2026. I think that is a significantly large number. It ain't zero. It might not be 50-50. It might be to what you're saying, Rob. It might be 40% on the lose out and 60% on the make the playoff side. But it is a legitimate debate, I think, on what Chiefs fans want to have happen and how they see the rest of this season going.
I also think part of this equation, too, is, and it kind of fits in with your point about the group that's saying lose out, there's a sector of the fan base that's kind of sour on everything right now, and there's a thought that if the Chiefs are picking 18, the Chiefs will find a way to screw it up. Which is odd to me because we are 12 months removed from In Veach We Trust, and he had found a star in every draft, and he had found just diamonds in the rough with every free agent signing, and he had this Graham master plan. I think there is a sect of the fan base that is saying, I don't want the 18th overall pick because I don't think Brett Veach is going to do a good job with the 18th overall pick, which is a wild delineation from where we've been. But I think it does show the fracture in the fan base of even if you are team playoffs, you still don't trust what the Chiefs' infrastructure is, which is insane to believe the Chiefs' infrastructure has lost all trust in not even 12 months, because 12 months ago, vibes were very high.
Yeah, someone on the text line says, C-Dot, what would 6-11 get us? 6-11 would get you somewhere between the 10th and 12th pick is what 6-11 would get you. So, I mean, if the Chiefs won out or lost out, they would get probably the 10th to 12th overall pick. It's hard to know, tiebreakers, all of those things. But yeah, I mean, if the Chiefs end this season, where I think they will end it, they are 10-7 or 9-8, they'll get somewhere in between the 16th through the 19th overall pick, if that's how they end up doing it. Obviously, they make the playoffs, you go down, you guys know how the draft order is. I don't got to tell you all that. But yeah, I think there is a portion of Chiefs fans that they don't think this team has it. They're ready for this team to end. They think the best thing for the future is to take the draft pick and also get the rest. That's where I think there's another part of this too. I think there is a portion of Chiefs fans that if you ask them, hey, what's the number one reason they missed the playoffs? They look tired. They've played more football than everybody else for the last couple of seasons. So them not having the mental grind and strain of 3 or 4 extra games tacked on to the end of the season. Just go ahead and finish out this regular season, take the 17th overall pick, get all of January off, all of February off, retool, reload, plan your weddings, have all of those things, come back focused with a impact draft and ready to go. I think there's a big portion of the Chiefs fan base that is ready to do that. We can take your phone calls on this, 913-586-7965. So I asked the question, if there were 2 options for the Chiefs the rest of the season, the option is the Chiefs get the 18th overall pick, which is finishing 10-7. Last year, Seattle finished 10-7. They got the 18th overall pick, or this team makes the playoffs and they get to the divisional round of the playoffs and it is up to them the rest of the way. Which one of those options would you pick? Rob thinks it is 60-40 make the playoffs and 40% would take the draft pick. I'm curious what you guys think. 913-586-7965. We'll read your text and take your phone calls next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
The world's largest sportsbook at your fingertips has arrived in Missouri. Circus Sports is sports betting the way it should be. With high app limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service, Circus Sports is better for the better. From football to basketball, college sports to pro, start betting like the pros in Missouri. Built for sports bettors by sports bettors. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. Must be 21 or older. For problem gambling, call the Problem Gamblers Helpline at 1-800-522 832-4700.
Home remodeling shouldn't be stressful. Hey, it's Bob Fesco, and West Shore Home is proving it doesn't have to be. With real-time scheduling and precision scan-to-plan accuracy, they make your remodel fast, easy, and convenient. That's why hundreds of thousands of homeowners have trusted West Shore Home to transform their bathroom, windows, and doors. Plus, right now, when you buy a full bath remodel, you'll get a second shower for free and lock in an extra $500 off just for listening to the show. But you need to schedule now at westshorehome.com/fan.
BetMGM is now available in Missouri. Sports fans in Missouri can sign up for BetMGM using bonus code DUSTY and get up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if their first bet does not win. Enjoy a betting app that was designed for game day. Get into hockey, basketball, and pro football with features like live bets, same-game parlays, BetMGM rewards points, and surprise boosts dropping in your account all throughout the season. It's everything a sports fan could want in one app. BetMGM is now available in Missouri. Sign up today using bonus code DUSTY to receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Minimum deposit of $10 to participate. Rewards are non-withdrawal bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-830-4914. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-830-4914. That's 800-830-4914. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-830-4914 or biglou.com. That's 800-830-4914 or biglou.com.
Hey, nice job, Pete. I like those clean lines. Fellas, do we have anyone that can get to Greenport today?
At Corey's Landscaping, the staffing plan is in the weeds.
Anthony, we need that leaf blower over here. 3 more new customer requests just came in. Who wants to work some overtime?
He needs to dig up quality landscapers and fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
boss, 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 bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
What's up, Missouri? Tony Gonzalez here. Your moment is finally here because DraftKings Sportsbook is live in Missouri. You can get in on all the action with fast withdrawals, a safe and secure app, and betting that's easy to use anywhere you go. And the best part, DraftKings keeps the excitement going with awesome promos and offers all season long. That's why it's America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't wait. New customers sign up today. Bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Let's go, Missouri. Get in the game.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 965. New Missouri customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code 965 in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Paid for, client portrayal, and endorsement. Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Downtown, you've got 670 eastbound just past 35. It is the right lane blocked. Also, 35 southbound just past 27th. Scoot to the left, right lane blocked there. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Trent McDuffie from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, so a couple people are asking, Carrington, give us an example of what you could get at the 18th overall pick. It's a little bit difficult because the last 2 years, the 18th overall pick has been an offensive lineman. But I can just give you this example. Last year, the 19th overall pick was Emeka Egbuka, who might be the best rookie in the National Football League. Omarion Hampton was the 22nd overall pick. If you get the 18th overall pick, you can draft a very, very good player to your team. So the last 2 years, I mean, this year it was the Seahawks starting left guard. I don't think the Chiefs are drafting a guard in round one. You certainly would draft Emeka Egbuka with the 18th overall pick if he was available and feel really, really good about throwing him in the middle of your offense. So, yeah, it goes without saying. You got a chance to take a really good player if you pick at 18. So we bring that up because I asked the question, are Chiefs fans just quite simply over this season? And if Chiefs fans were now presented with the two options, you could just finish 9-8, finish 10-7, have the 16th overall pick, the 18th overall pick. Would you take that option? Or would you, this team, kind of get hot, get going a little bit, get themselves into the playoffs, and you can then roll the dice on what happens with them getting to the second round and then see what happens? Rob and I both think that there is a decent size of the fan base that would just take the draft pick at this point. I think there is a group of fans that don't think this team can make a Super Bowl run, thinks this team could just quite simply use January off, reload, retool. If you miss the playoffs, you're certainly making some changes to your coaching staff and just kind of pressing a hard reset and coming back in August refreshed and ready to go. I do think there is a portion of the fan base that feels that way. I think it's at around 40%. Rob also has it there, but I also see the argument of, let's go to the playoffs. We got 15. We got Mahomes in this scenario. That means you're starting to play well. That also means you went on the road in the wild card round and won your first game. And now you got 2 Sundays from getting back to a Super Bowl, and you will always take that chance with your quarterback and your defense. Rob, before we get to the phone lines, you are as big as anybody on draft pick. Which side of this argument are you on? Would you rather the Chiefs just finish 9-8, 10-7, and miss the playoffs, or do you want them to make the playoffs and see what happens?
Oh, I mean, me personally, lose. Now, I will say this one caveat. The show and the station operate better when the Chiefs are in the postseason, but if you're asking me which I'd rather see happen for the Chiefs and the football reasons, absolutely lose out. Because the team needs a refresh. We talk about it all the time. Refresh, reload, different, change.
I think you can reload that way as well.
I don't know that at 10-7 the team makes changes. I think it's not just the draft pick. I think status quo becomes the thing at 10-7. And when we talked about yesterday, how you could see a scenario where the Chiefs this offseason try to pitch the fans that, hey, we were a couple plays away, so everything's working. Just trust we're going to make those couple of plays. If they go 10-7, they are 1,000% pitching the idea that they are a few plays away from being even better, and I think that status quo would be a problem for me.
Now looking at the draft order, this just popped in my head. I know the Chiefs wouldn't have done this, but I'll just ask you anyway. Do you think the Chiefs are better if they draft Quinshon Judkins or Travion Henderson over Josh Simmons?
Ooh.
Like right now, if you could go back in time.
No.
And for the 2025 Kansas City Chiefs, if they didn't have Josh Simmons and they had Quinshon Judkins or Travion Henderson, are they a better team?
No. I don't think Jalen Moore is that good at left tackle. And that's their I know everyone's going to say, well,
I don't think offensive line is why they lost on Sunday. And they went up against an elite defensive line.
I don't think that's why they lost either, but I don't think that Travion Henderson is the difference. I don't think Quinshon Judkins makes them go from 6-7 to, oh, wow, world beaters. I think a lot of the same problems that the Chiefs have exist even with a first-round running back. Because you know what? Patrick Mahomes likes to run around and, run for his life and make plays mode, like that article in The Ringer said. I don't know that Issa Pole or Jalen Moore at left tackle fixes that problem.
You want to know how many yards per carry Travion Henderson is averaging so far this year?
Is it the whopping 3.8 that Kareem Hunt has?
4.8 yards per carry.
No doubt. TreVeyon Henderson
has been very good so far this season.
This is not an insult to him.
He's also one of those players that you and I both knew he was going to be very good heading into this season.
I just don't know.
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just asking the question.
Do you think a running back is a cure-all?
I don't think it's a cure-all. I think their team is in a drastically better position if they could rely on I think they are in a drastically better position if they could run the football.
I think they had another 6 opportunities to take a running back, and they would have been fine.
I'm with you.
I guess
I'm with you if they drafted one that works.
Yeah.
I have too much evidence of when Pat feels like he's the running game, their offense doesn't work. And if there were games that they felt like they could turn around and trust their running back and give their running back the 16 carries and he have a good day, I think for this team that's worth an extra 1 or 2 games.
I just think I agree with
They
you.
gave those guys 21 carries and got 60 yards. 21 carries for 60 yards on Sunday against the Houston Texans.
I agree with you on the fact that their running backs were bad. I just don't know that a running back drastically improves their team because that problem they have about Patrick Mahomes running around and having to be the offense still exists if the left tackle is even pick a guy, Jalen Moore or Issa Pole, that they are noticeably worse at that position, and that position is what gets Patrick Mahomes in trouble.
Yeah, they're going to play half of their season without that left tackle anyway that they spent a first-round draft pick on.
To be fair, Quinshon Jenkins had off-the-field issues, too. So,
100%.
It ain't like he's been squeaky clean over there.
He honestly would have fit right in. That's the kind of players they love. Those guys move to the top of their draft board. They love questionable character when it comes to the draft. 913-586-7965. Daryl called into the show. Daryl, how you doing, my man?
Hey, I'm doing okay. Thanks for taking my call.
No problem,
I listen
man.
every day. I was listening yesterday, and the guy I work with comes by, and he's like, what are you listening to that for? It's over. I'm like, no, it's not over. And anyway, I'm going for the playoffs. I mean, everybody knows. I mean, ask Mitch Holthus, ask Andy Reid. We are one play away from every single one of these games that we've lost. I mean, we are capable of beating any team in this league any given Sunday. And we get into the playoffs, anything can happen. We are just as good, and that draft pick wouldn't make a damn bit of difference no matter where that pick was last year or next year. That isn't going to win any more games. Anyway, thanks for taking my call.
No problem, Daryl, man. I appreciate it, man. Don't tell you gotta tell your coworker to listen each day. Y'all don't listen to the open of the show. You gotta tell that coworker to listen to you gotta tell he's the one friend you need to be telling to listen to the show. I don't believe that the 2025 Chiefs can beat anybody. I don't believe that. I know it sounds good, and I get why other people feel that way. The 2025 Chiefs have not shown me that. Especially when we are talking about you got to do this in consecutive weeks. They have to do this. The Chiefs have won one football game since Halloween. It's Christmas time. They've won one football game since Halloween. So I don't believe this, we can beat anybody on any given Sunday. Well, then why aren't they doing it now? They've had a month of these kind of games. They had that right before the bye. They were 5-3. Man, we feel drastically different about the Chiefs if they were 6-3 coming off of, they went on the road and beat that Buffalo team. It changes the course of their season. They lost. They then came back after the bye week. We threw every stat out there about the Chiefs after the bye, and we knew how important that game was in the division. Chiefs didn't win that game. On Thanksgiving, hey, there's a big difference in being 7-5 and 6-6. You got to figure out a way to win this game. They lost. On Sunday, they gave us this whole one-play speech. They gave it to us for a week. They didn't do it. I don't believe this team is capable of that. Last year's team, of course. The last 5 versions of the Chiefs that we've seen, this year's Kansas City Chiefs team has not shown me that they're capable of beating anybody. That's not what they've shown me. That has not been their consistent actions.
I agree. And I feel like every year around this time of year, except for this year's going to be new and different because we're not going to talk about the postseason. I feel like every time this type of year, text lines and Chiefs fans start playing the schedule game. Oh, so-and-so only beat so-and-so and so-and-so only beat so-and-so. So that means, but while the Chiefs took care of business, X, Y, and Z. If we're going to play the schedule game with the Chiefs, which we can do because they're 6-7, have they beaten a really good team? is their best win Baltimore, who might be an 8-9 division champ, or
the Lions,
who are fighting for their playoff lives in the NFC?
The Lions are a good team.
I think they're a good team. They might be on their couch the same way the Chiefs are on their couch. Fair. Like, that's because the NFC is better than the AFC.
Games. Yeah, the Lions might win 11
It's
games.
a product of the NFC, but like, if you go to the Chiefs wins outside the Lions, it's mostly teams you think, I don't think they're very good, and the Chiefs gobble up those teams. And if it's teams you're like, oh, they're pretty good, the Chiefs really struggle with those teams.
Let's go back to the phone line. Sam called into the show today. Sam, how you doing today, my man?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you guys doing?
Doing good, bro.
Yeah, like I'm in a weird spot with this, man. Like, my thought, if I can offer just a little optimism, is that maybe going forward, a season like this could be the best thing that happened to this team. Because what I think happened is that this team got way too comfortable being on top. They got way too comfortable being the top dogs, and in the process, they got soft. I mean, let's be honest, they're soft. This isn't the gritty, tough Chiefs football that we saw in the Super Bowl 57 and 58 runs. You know, it's like watching the Mickey Mouse Club out there. So, and they needed to get humbled. Honestly, they really needed to get humbled. So I don't necessarily want them to tank, but man, these guys got to start playing like their jobs are on the line, because I don't think there's one guy in that locker room not named Patrick Mahomes that is safe for next season. They could win out. I still don't think it'll make a lick of difference. I don't even want them to make the playoffs, because they're just going to get embarrassed in the wild card. And this season's been embarrassing enough. I want to avoid any further embarrassment. So that's my thoughts.
Sam, I'm with you, man. I appreciate the phone call. Sam got me thinking something about this team. And this is something that at the time we all celebrated, but now in hindsight, I think kind of goes to show you how they feel. Rob, can you tell me why this organization signed up to do a documentary during the course of a season? This wasn't like a Hard Knocks. The kingdom was, hey, look at how great we are. Like, that was the purpose of it. Am I lying? I mean, I liked it. It was a very, very good show. But think about it. Hey, we're going to win the Super Bowl again this year. I really think what happened to this team is, I think they were super focused last year because they were chasing something. And I think when you lose that goal that you were chasing, I think they've kind of struggled to kind of like find the why. So to some of this, I'm with you. I think the Chiefs next year, the humbling of all of this and the humbling of 2025 and everything that happened, I think they just need a new mentality. And I made the point yesterday, man, it is hard to want when you have. It's hard to stay hungry when you have everything. You have everything. The Chiefs have had everything for the last 4 or 5 years. The Broncos don't have anything. The Bills don't have anything. The Ravens don't have. All of these teams that you're going up against, they want exactly what you have. So they're waking up every day training to beat you. That is not really what the Chiefs have been doing for the last couple of years. We're going across the globe. We got a documentary going on. We got our own stuff going on. And I think in some ways that absolutely caught up to them.
I wonder, too, if to the caller's point and to your point, I wonder if, I don't know if the term is complacency, but there was a thought among fans that if you just roll the ball out there and the game's important, the Chiefs will win it.
Chiefs fans acted like the regular season wasn't important.
And I wonder.
I would say that, and that feeling, I'm sorry to cut you off, Rob, that feeling was happening this year. You remember the tone after the Buffalo loss. Oh, this doesn't matter. We always lose to Buffalo.
It was that way for every regular season loss up until recently. I wonder how much, if any of that permeated into the team. Because I have first things first on back here. Nick Wright was screaming it on Fox Sports 1 every week. The regular season's a practice for the Chiefs. There was a belief, at least by fans and media types, that, hey, when the games matter, the Chiefs will just flip a switch and they'll go get it. And to an extent, last year they did that. Remember, me and you were skeptical. We were saying, something doesn't add up. They're winning all these close games against the Panthers and these bad teams. Something doesn't feel right. And in that first round that they played after the bye, they took care of business, easy money against the Texans, and they looked a class above the Bills, despite the fact it was a close game. You were like, oh, now the Chiefs again. I wonder if that thought that, hey, roll the ball out there, tell us the game's important, and we'll just go to work, permeated to the actual team, because the fans have felt that way for a while. Wake me when real football starts. Real football started. They're 6-7.
Let's go back to the phone lines, 913-586-7965. Spencer called into the show. Hey, Spencer, how you doing, my man?
Hi, C-Dot. I'm good. Thanks for taking the call.
No problem.
So it's been interesting listening to those first two phone calls and your guys' conversations because it seems like those two callers were on pretty, two extremes. And I think I'm somewhere in the middle. And the reason I say that is if we could say that, we win out and we make the playoffs for sure, of course you're going to take that chance. But the problem is we have to hazard ourselves and realize that we can't say that right now. What we can say is that we can win out and decrease our draft position. And I personally think that drafting, more towards the 10 spot than towards the 20 spot will make a difference for this team and getting younger and better year over year. And, just looking at this Chargers game coming up, I might be wrong, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe if they lose that game, then the math gets really rough, and I think at that point it'll make all the sense to lose out. But I think it even makes sense right now because you can secure a better draft pick, whereas you're just relying on way too much to even get there. And you're not sure you're going to be able to take that chance on Patrick and Andy and all of these people that have done great things for us. So that's what I kind of think about it.
No problem, Spencer. I appreciate the phone call. I will say this about the draft. If you really want the Chiefs to go get a pass rusher, like a premium pass rusher, in the Patrick Mahomes era, they will never have a better chance than they have right now. If they get the 17th overall pick, you can get a good defensive lineman at 17. Like, you can find a day one starter. None of this, we're fine if he redshirts. No. If you pick 17, the expectation is that player will play immediately for you. That is a day one starter on your team. That is the hope. That's the expectation. I would say that's the expectation with their first two picks for next year. Because if we're just sitting here doing it, let's say they get the 18th overall pick, and then if you look at in the second round, you get a mid-second round pick. I think Seattle had 18 and they had 50. Man, if you get two picks in the top 50, both of those guys need to be on the opening day starting 22. So I agree. I do think they could use a defensive tackle that they drafted 18 and a new tight end that they drafted 50. And that's the plan moving forward for them. Now, you got to hit in free agency. You got to hit with some other picks. And they've done a really good job of those 3 through 6th round kind of finding guys kind of plug and play. But when this team turned over the roster in a post-Tyreek Hill world, man, they hit on those picks. You drafted Nick Bolton with one of those picks. You drafted Creed Humphrey with one of those selections. You drafted George Karlaftis and Trent McDuffie, guys who instantly were able to start and be difference makers. That is what they need for this upcoming season.
I agree with you conceptually, but I will say, and I know we've talked about on the show, I think the idea that, the earlier you draft, the more likely you are to hit. I don't know that's 100% correct. The Chiefs could have been hitting where they've been drafting now. It's harder. It's more work. It's a better scouting department. But the Chiefs are in the position they are not because of where they were picking, but who they were picking. And moving up to pick 18 does not guarantee that they're going to get the right guy. Like you said, you pulled the numbers earlier. Like Emeka Egbuka went 19 last year. I'm sure if we went pick 18 year by year by year by year, you're going to hear some names on there and go, who? Who is that? I've never heard of that person. So while pick 18 makes it easier to find an impact guy, and pick 50 makes it easier to find an impact guy versus pick 62 and 31, it's not a matter of the where to me, it's a matter of the who. And I reject this notion by fans of you have to move up in the draft because that's the only way to get good players. You could have had Sam Laporta, but instead you have Felix Anudike-Uzomah. That wasn't because you picked at 32 as opposed to 17. It's a matter of the who.
Let's take one more phone call on this. Michael in Chicago called into the show today. Hey, Mike, how you doing today, my man?
I'm doing great, and thanks for taking the call. I want to apologize for throwing a stray at you Monday about Trent McDuffie. We can have that fight another day.
It's all good.
You're a member of the family, and so thanks for the opportunity to call back in. Here's where I'm at on this. I think that with the Tyreek Hill trade, the Chiefs' margin for error went from pretty big to win a game to pretty tight. It's been tight the whole time. But what has kept them moving forward and winning these games is they were driving for greatness. You heard it in all their post-game interviews. You heard them even when they won the Super Bowl. They were talking about winning the next one. That united the leaders of the team. That united the franchise. I think that's why they did the documentary is because they were wanting to capture that drive for greatness. And they came, I mean, what they did was great. It was great. And they just came a game short of being like talked about like Michael Jordan with three-peats and, you know, two of them in the 90s and the like. They came just that short. I think you've stole my point already. They are missing that purpose this year. You just see it. Like what makes a man get up on a Monday morning and do his job a little bit better than he did it before, right? It's purpose. It's something driving you. And what's been the purpose? What's been the drive this year other than just recovering from a butt whooping in the Super Bowl? That hasn't been enough. And you can just see the execution isn't there. The drop passes, the mixed field goals, the inexplicable play calls in field goal range on a tie game, a game Marty Schottenheimer would have known exactly how to win, but our Hall of Fame coach doesn't know how to win. Like, that is what's missing them. So for me, the paradigm to this question is, what do you go? What route do you go? I'm very sympathetic to winning games. Like, as Herm Edwards so eloquently said, you play to win the game, right? You play to win the game, right? And so I hate the idea of losing. If you could thread the needle, for me, it would be that they win as many games as possible to still miss the playoffs, because I hate the idea of Travis Kelce finishing his career, and I think he is finishing his career. I hate the idea of him losing games, going out on that kind of a path. I want him to go out with wins, like with fun afternoons and big scores and him dancing in the end zone. I don't want him to go out with losses. But the Spurs dynamic is what pops up here. The Spurs, David Robinson was hurt. They get the number one pick. They get Tim Duncan. They're right back on top. David Robinson comes back, and they're back to winning. If we are able to get a Hall of Fame level D end or a Pro Bowl, and the Hall of Fame might be shooting high, but a Pro Bowl level D end here, a pass rusher, someone that can actually rush the passer. Steve Spagnuolo, looking at you, can we actually get a pass rusher on the field that can win on the first step? Like, we're right back in it, guys. We are right back in it with a lot of the talent that's on here and guys actually catching the ball. So we need to draft the next Pro Bowler. That's what we need to do.
I'm 100% with you, Michael, man. I appreciate the phone call. I mean, that's going to be top on my list. I haven't made my official end of the season list. Finding a dog on the opposite side of George Karlaftis needs to be priority number one. Priority number one. You need what this defense needs is somebody who can go get you 10 sacks. That's what they need. Because the expectation for their defense was that you had those two guys. Chris Jones is no longer a 10-sack guy. He's a 5 to 7 sack guy. George Karlaftis, the expectation was that he was going to make up for it and be a 15-sack guy, and you were going to get it that way. No, they need to go find somebody opposite. They need a dog on the other side, and they don't have that. They have two dogs on their defensive line. You need like 4 or 5 when it comes to that, or you just need 2 incredible defensive linemen. I don't think they have that right now. We'll keep your phone calls going on the other side. 913-586-7965. We were asking the question, would you rather the Chiefs just have the 18th overall pick or make the playoffs and then roll the dice and see what happens? We'll take more of your phone calls. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
BetMGM is now available in Missouri. Sports fans in Missouri can sign up for BetMGM using bonus code DUSTY and get up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if their first bet does not win. Enjoy a betting app that was designed for game day. Get into hockey, basketball, and pro football with features like live bets, same-game parlays, BetMGM rewards points, and surprise boosts dropping in your account all throughout the season. It's everything a sports fan could want in one app. BetMGM is now available in Missouri. Sign up today using bonus code DUSTY to receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Minimum deposit of $10 to participate. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly.
Hey, you already know that there's nothing like a custom designed and crafted jewelry treasure from House of Diamonds. A one-of-a-kind creation built from scratch for a one-of-a-kind love. But sometimes you have a need for speed. This is Gene at House of Diamonds, and just in case custom jewelry isn't in the cards, we have a case. Actually, we have 19 cases filled with some of the most beautiful handcrafted jewelry you'll ever see. Earrings, rings, bracelets, pearls, pendants, and fine gemstones. A lot of it we created in our shop. All of it carries our name with the quality and craftsmanship you've come to expect from House of Diamonds. And any item can be tweaked and customized just for you. Think of it as Custom Express. Custom Express or custom from scratch. Get it at locally owned, family owned House of Diamonds. House of Diamonds on the southeast corner of College and Quivira.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Andy's Frozen Custard. Visit eatandys.com to find the location nearest you. Top your day with a smile.
Let me tell you about my good friend Andy from Andy's Frozen Custard. He's from Kansas City, never misses a game, and serves the world's finest frozen custard. Tailgate with a pick six, or grab a freshly made custom treat before or after a game. And tell him Mitch and Andy sent you.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
A multi-car crash now working in Shawnee. Big backup, 635 northbound. It's the on-ramp from Metcalf, but the freeway is definitely affected. We have big backups already, so be prepared to tap your brakes. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Subscribe to 96.5 The Fan on YouTube to watch the show from wherever you are.
All right, welcome back into the show. My name is Carrington Harrison. Very happy to be here with you. We'll get to the hits here coming up in just a bit. I want to play some audio for you guys here coming up momentarily. We'll also get to these couple of phone calls that we have. So we were asking this question. If the Chiefs finish 9-8, 10-7, they would have about somewhere between the 15th to 18th pick. Last year, Seattle, they won 10 games. They had the 18th overall pick. Would you take the 18th overall pick or see this team get to the second round of the postseason and roll the dice and see what happens? We've been taking you guys' answers on that. We'll get back to that in a bit. Before we do that, I do want to play for you guys something that Nate Taylor had to say. He was on the midday show. Listen to this about Rashee Rice.
Hey, man, like the offense was kind of all over the place because you weren't around for the first 6 weeks, okay? You came back. They got you in the mix. And then the Buffalo Bills straight up asked you, you ready to beat me in coverage? And then the Denver Broncos asked you the next week, straight up, hey, bro, you ready to beat me in coverage? Okay. Now, any team with any pulse is going to say, hey, man, that's Derek Stingley. You ready to beat me in coverage? It has become apparent that although he can create space, although he does have a good telepathic sense for what Patrick likes, especially when he scrambles, he does not give good effort when it's man-to-man, period. His effort is lacking when the play call is man-to-man or when there's a safety over the top that suggests, hey, man, I exist. You're their number one receiver, right? This is what Justin Jefferson gets. This is what Chase gets. Hey, man, like, you want to be the number one receiver, right? Hey, I'm a safety. I'm over the top.
You're going to have to work inside of that,
Yeah. Like, can you beat me? It's one-on-one. You want to give good effort? Hey, man, I know the play's not necessarily for you, but, like, how am I giving more effort than you?
I think Rashee Rice is going to be on the team next year. I do not think is 100%. Not at all. Going into the last year of a contract, maybe the Chiefs, like, we have the conversation that the Chiefs should pay Rashee Rice and get ahead of things because you save money. What if the Chiefs have an organization have just decided we're not paying Rashee Rice and you are ready to get out of his contract and get what you can while he's still there? What if they think he's George Pickens? Like, there's a possibility that that's how the Chiefs see him, as George Pickens, and we're ready to move on and we're ready for a different situation. So I don't know what's going to happen with Rashee Rice. I am not 100% certain that he is on the team next year. I think he is, but I don't think if we get the tweet in early March that the Chiefs have made the decision to move on from Rashee Rice, it is not going to be some huge shocking development to me. Hurt, off the field issues, effort issues. Hey, we think it's in our best interest to just move on. We were not giving him $60 million guaranteed. We can't, I think, in one breath, and Rob, you've made this point, talk about how we think they should turn the roster over and then suggest to bring everybody back. No, you got to make some radical changes. That's how you turn things over. I think there is a chance that Rashee Rice is not a part of their long-term plans. Hurt, effort issues, off the field issues. We don't know if we can trust you with this amount of money. We are happy to move in a different direction as an organization. We're going to take our second-round pick, so we didn't lose anything from a draft pick compensation, and we'll take another swing when it comes to a wide receiver. I think there's a chance that happens this offseason. Let's go to the phone line. Seth called into the show. Hey, Seth, how you doing this evening, man?
Hey, what up, brother? So, think about that question you're asking. Hey, would you rather tank or would you rather go for it in the playoffs? I hear what that caller saying earlier about how, getting that 18th pick's not going to make a difference. I hear that. But when I think of that question that you're asking, too, I can't help but think of the great-grandfather of our amazing country that goes by the name of Dr. Phil. He once said, you can't put feathers on a dog and call it a chicken. So you can't put a currently 6-7 team into the playoffs and expect us to win the Super Bowl. And then if we don't make it, we hold everyone accountable. We need that accountability. So not making the playoffs is going to bring that accountability that we so need. We can build a player staff. We can get those players with the 18th pick. Cool, great. But we've already dug ourselves in that hole for that cap next year, where I think the biggest thing that not making the playoffs is going to do is going to help us bring that accountability to our coaching staff, to bring in the talent to help develop what we got. I mean, look what Bieniemy's done in Chicago just as a running back coach. I mean, we need some development from our coaching staff to bring to the players. I think that's the biggest thing that we could really need right now as a franchise.
Seth, anytime somebody quotes Dr. Phil on the show, they had a great phone call, in my opinion.
He said grandfather of this country.
That's what he said. I wish we had a pizza to give him like back in the day. I'd have gave that man a pizza. Text line 913-586-7965. C-Dot, why would we not pay Rashee Rice? All of a sudden, the station hates him. He's barely been hurt, and he has one incident. How many incidents did Tyreek Hill have? Tyreek Hill in his third season had 87 catches for 1,500 yards and 12 touchdowns. That's why he was allowed incidents. That's why he was allowed incidents. Tyreek Hill is probably going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We know the rules are different for different people. The Chiefs are willing to put up with Tyreek's off-the-field incidents because he made them a drastically different team. The Chiefs had maybe one of the 3 best offenses in the history of the National Football League when they had Tyreek on their team. So, yeah, I'm not comparing Rashee Rice to Tyreek Hill.
I know we're up against the break. Can we
got time to take one more call? Go ahead.
know, but real quick. The texter saying that Rashee Rice is barely hurt. He missed an entire season of football.
For sure.
Maybe we have different definitions of barely hurt. Maybe the fact that he's still playing means that he was barely hurt. He missed 13 games last year with a massive knee injury. That's not barely hurt to me. That's a guy who was, in fact, very hurt last season. And that's before he ever had an incident. So it's not just, he's had some injuries. He had a massive injury at 24 years old.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm not even joking. Like, Rashee Rice has played in 21 games. I bet you he has missed 21 games so far in his NFL career. Like, we could look it up to get the exact number. I mean, it's probably game played 21, probably games missed like 19. He's been there half of the time. He had a felony incident, and he is a receiver with a knee injury. And I would say in some ways a limited skill set. Whose
effort is now being questioned.
I'm not saying it is 100%. I'm just saying if we get the tweet from Adam Schefter that he ends up being traded, it will not be like, man, this came out of nowhere. I can't believe they did this. It will make some sense if they move on from Rashee Rice. Jay, we got like 90 seconds left in the segment, man. I'll give them to you. How you doing, man?
Hey, first of all, thank you, Matty. I appreciate it. Love your show. You know, I've seen this stuff for a long time. First of all, when it comes to Rashee Rice, you know, I got to agree with you. I don't care. If he didn't drop balls, there wouldn't be an issue with it, right? But these receivers drop balls. Tyreek didn't. So, when it comes to the Chiefs, playoffs, first draft, come on. There's so many losers in the draft that get taken, and you see it every year. Chiefs are a good organization. I trust them at any pick. I go with the playoffs because guess what? Free agents want to come to play with you when you're a playoff team. And since they implemented salary cap and free agency associated with that, changed the importance of the draft. Still very important, but it changed it. You didn't have a quarterback from Oklahoma being the highest paid player in football because they'd never taken a snap. That's what changed. And that's all I got to say, guys.
No problem, Jay, man. I appreciate the phone call. Someone said, I hate when you guys do this. Why are we holding his injury against him? Because that's football. Because that's football. He has a significant leg injury. Yeah. So when it now comes to how I think you're going to hold up and what that means it's one thing to be hurt on now your rookie contract. Yeah, that absolutely matters when we're deciding it. Again, I'm not telling you, my stance right now is trade Rashee Rice. I'm just simply telling you that we can't have the stance of, man, we got to turn over the roster next year and their entire foundation is coming back. No, somebody has to go. Everybody can't come back. That's not just on the sideline. That's on the field, too. Everybody cannot come back this season. Rashee Rice, Trent McDuffie, those guys that I would say now you're making a decision on who you want to pay. Somebody is not going to be on next year's Kansas City Chiefs team, and we're trying to figure out who that could be. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Still working the multi-car crash near Shawnee, 635 northbound near Metcalf. Be prepared to tap your brakes through there. I see big backups. And a fender bender Lee Summit off to the right shoulder, 470 westbound just past 50. You'll tap your brakes there. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, folks, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Many men remember their first time. Not that first time. I'm talking about the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined that special moment. And if you're over 50, then the chances are then you've experienced this before. That first time can be frustrating. It can be a little bit embarrassing. But here's the good news. At Heartland Men's Health, that first time can also be the last time. Heartland Men's Health specializes in treating ED when the pills and herbals fail. With a success rate of over 90%, many men see results just after one visit. So your first visit is just $99, which includes a consult, lab work, and if medically advised, you get a test dose. And if it doesn't work right there in the office, then your visit is on the house. So don't let ED define your sex life. Call my friends at Heartland Men's Health today at 844-447-6600 or check out the website, heartlandmenshealth.com today. You can also stop by and visit any of the 3 area locations, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City. Be sure to stop by Heartland Men's Health.
Hi there, I'm Charlie.
And I'm Carter. Our dad is Rex with Rex Buys KC.
If you're thinking about selling a home in Kansas City and don't know where to start, our dad can help.
Sometimes life throws curveballs, like moving for a new job, dealing with a divorce, or inheriting a house you weren't expecting.
Dad doesn't just make offers, he talks with people to help them understand all of their options. No pressure, and it doesn't cost anything to talk with his team.
He's a local home buyer who really knows Kansas City. If selling to him is the right choice, he'll give you a fair cash offer, and you can close on your timeline even in as little as 7 days.
He buys homes in any condition. No need for repairs, no fees, no surprises.
Just an honest, easy process so you feel good about your decision.
Want to talk to him? Call 816-330-6000 or go to rexbuyskc.com.
Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
This season, enjoy stress-free comfort with easy booking and trusted service from Anthony. Save up to $4,500 on a new high-efficiency HVAC system. Schedule today at anthonyphce.com.
With the first pick in the McDonald's breakfast draft, I'm going with a tasty sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle sandwich. Bold move, sweet, savory, totally stacked. But wait, that delicious sausage McMuffin with egg sandwich is still on the board. Lucky for me, McD lets you mix and match 2 for just $5. And right now, any size iced coffee is only $1.89. Breakfast at McDonald's. That's the real winning deal. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
For moments worth more, celebrate this holiday season with Stella Artois. Stella Artois is teaming up with your local Hy-Vee and Johnny's to help make your holiday gatherings a little brighter. Whether you're hosting family, catching up with friends, or raising a toast to togetherness, let Stella elevate the moment. Visit your nearby Hy-Vee or Johnny's and enter at the Stella Artois displays for a chance to win a $100 gift card. For more details, go to 965thefan.com. Stella Artois. Enjoy responsibly.
Guys, thanks for helping me carry my Christmas tree.
Zoe, this thing weighs a ton.
Drewski, lift with your legs, man.
Santa! Did you get my letter?
He's talking to you, Bridges.
I'm not that.
Of course he did. Right, Santa?
You know, my elf Drewski here, he handles the nice list.
An elf? I'm 6'3". What everyone wants is iPhone 17. And at T-Mobile, you can get it on them. That center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. Right, Mrs. Claus?
I'm Mrs. Claus's much younger sister. And at T-Mobile, there's no trade-in needed when you switch. So you can keep your old phone.
Or give it as a gift.
And the best part? You can make the switch to T-Mobile from your phone in just 15 minutes.
Guys, my side of the tree is slipping.
Timber!
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Switch in just 15 minutes and get iPhone 17 on us with no trade-in needed. With 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Finance agreement, 256 gigs, $830. Eligible port in a new line. $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
I'm Mitch Holtis, voice of the Chiefs. Everyone develops cataracts naturally as they get older. When your vision is affected by cataracts, you should see my doctor, Dr. Steven Silverstein at Silverstein Eye Centers. Dr. Silverstein is a world-renowned cataract surgeon who performs life-changing laser-assisted cataract surgery with premium lens implants to correct your vision up close and far away. Trust my eye doctor, Dr. Steven Silverstein, Silverstein Eye Centers. 816-358-3600 to schedule an appointment.
Chiefs coverage this past hour has been brought to you by WaysideWaves.org. Save a life this holiday season.
Wayside rescues thousands of animals each year. Your gift today provides a complete circle of life-saving care they need to heal and find loving homes. Donate today, and your gift will be matched. Visit WaysideWaves.org to make your life-saving gift today.
Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch all your favorite shows, shorts, and clips. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. Thank you so much for listening. It is The Drive. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. So I want to start the 5 o'clock hour with this. We all are going to have a bunch of suggestions on what the Chiefs should do this offseason. And I think a lot of those suggestions they're going to be right. If you think they need to go get a defensive lineman, I'm with you. If you think the Chiefs need to invest in the running game, I'm with you. I think for the most part, we all are going to end up being on the same page about how we feel the Chiefs should handle their offseason. But priority number one, I think, needs to get back to what the number one objective for this organization should be. How do we get the old Patrick Mahomes back? So I saw a stat. Patrick Mahomes from 2018 to 2022 has a 106 passer rating and had 8.1 yards per attempt. Patrick Mahomes from 23 to 25 has a 92.5 passer rating and a 7.0 yards per attempt. I know we all feel like Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the National Football League. I think you also have to acknowledge he doesn't always play like it, and it doesn't jump off the screen in the same way that it used to. Now, we might disagree on the why, but the numbers are the numbers. You see a significant dip in passer rating, a significant dip in yards per attempt, accuracy issues, down the field issues, whatever issues that you have been able to spot with Patrick Mahomes. The number one thing I want them to focus on this offseason is how do we make the game easier for him? And making the game easier for Patrick Mahomes is the fastest way to get back to the postseason and the fastest way for them to be a dangerous team that no one wants to play. I think you can do that a couple of ways. Number one, to me, they need a guy that can beat man coverage. They do not have that currently on their team. I think the Chiefs have got into a rut of they have the same style of wide receiver. They got a bunch of under 6 foot skinny guys at wide receiver, guys that weigh less than 200 pounds, burners, that when you get physical against them, they really struggle. Look at the defenses that have given the Chiefs problems over the last couple of years. It's been Denver. It's been Houston. It's been Philadelphia. It's been those teams that we've got two aggressive corners. We think we can play bump and run coverage, and we don't think you can beat it. And then when I hear Nate Taylor say something like this about Rashee Rice when it comes to his inability to beat man coverage, it stands out to me.
Hey, man, the offense was kind of all over the place because you weren't around for the first 6 weeks, okay? You came back. They got you in the mix. And then the Buffalo Bills straight up asked you, you ready to beat man coverage? And then the Denver Broncos asked you the next week, straight up, hey, bro, you ready to beat man coverage? Okay. Now, any team with any pulse is going to say, hey, man, that's Derek Stingley. You ready to beat man coverage? It has become apparent that although he can create space, although he does have a good telepathic sense for what Patrick likes, especially when he scrambles, he does not give good effort when it's man-to-man. Period. His effort is lacking when the play call is man-to-man or when there's a safety over the top that suggests, hey, man, I exist. You're their number one receiver, right? This is what Justin Jefferson gets. This is what Chase gets. Hey, man, you want to be the number one receiver, right? Hey, I'm a safety. I'm over the top.
You're going to work inside of that.
Yeah. Can you beat me? It's one-on-one. You want to give good effort? Hey, man, I know the play's not necessarily for you, but, how am I giving more effort than you?
I would say that they have played 2 high-level defenses with Rashee Rice back. They played 2. Rashee Rice against the Broncos had 6 catches for 38 yards, and they didn't have Patrick Surtain in that game. Against Houston, he had 4 catches for 34 yards and had questionable hands in the game. If you want to go back to the Super Bowl with Xavier Worthy did nothing in the Super Bowl in the first 3 quarters of the game and didn't get cooking until it was absolute garbage time. I think the Chiefs need a 6'2", physical, man-beating kind of receiver. So when teams try to press the Chiefs and try to get physical at the line of scrimmage, they got guys that can get open. And I just don't think they have it right now. And I think finding that guy would make things much easier for Patrick Mahomes than how they've been. So that's number 1 for me, the kind of receiver that I think they need. I think number 2 is, and I will continue to say this until they answer it, they need to invest heavily in the run game. I want to give you guys a stat. I saw this stat. This was from The Ringer earlier today when talking about their offense. This season, Patrick Mahomes leads the NFL in scrambles. Not talking about design runs. You know, they call design runs for Josh Allen. They call design runs for Lamar Jackson. I'm talking about it is a drop back pass play and your quarterback takes off. He has the most in the National Football League. And this year, he has a career high scramble rate. Patrick Mahomes takes off on about 10% of his dropbacks. That is not the way that the Kansas City Chiefs consistently win games. And when Pat plays like that and feels like it's superhero mode and I can't trust my receivers to get open and I don't trust our run game, I'm going to figure out a way to do it ourselves, is usually when the offense is struggling. And I want to read to you this sentence in this paragraph. When Mahomes loses trust in the offense and the players around him, his scramble rate spikes. It is a clear regression indicator of the Chiefs' passing game. Man, the word is out. Get physical with their receivers. They can't beat man coverage. Pat will get skittish and not trust them and not try to throw guys open. He'll take off himself. The fact that Patrick Mahomes in these games continues to be their leading rusher is an indication that the rest of their offense is off. You know they don't want to run Pat. They're scared to run quarterback sneaks with their quarterback. So they don't want Pat taking off 7, 8 times a game like he had to against Houston. But when it's, hey, I'm doing everything we can to win, that is kind of where they are. So to me, priority number 1 for the Chiefs needs to be, how do we make this easier for our quarterback? How do the Chiefs get back the quarterback that won the MVP back in 2022? How do the Chiefs get back the quarterback that played in 2019? And that will solve a lot of the problems that they have. The Chiefs, in my opinion, and I'm imagining in a lot of you guys' opinion as well, have the best player in the National Football League. How do we ensure that that guy is on the field every single Sunday? Because did it look to you guys on Sunday like the Chiefs had the best player in the league on their team? It didn't feel like that to me, but I think that they do. How do we get that guy there? I think they need a physical receiver on the outside. I think they need to run the football effectively and spend some resources when it comes to it. I think if the Chiefs do those things, I think you will see Patrick Mahomes have more trust in his teammates. I think you'll see some of those numbers get back, and you'll get back a superhero. Because right now, the Chiefs do not have a superhero currently at quarterback. All right, Rob, there's a lot going on around sports. Let's get to it in the hits.
Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with CDOT and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number 1.
Carrington Harrison, the hits are brought to you by Baker University. Make your next era orange at Baker University, the first university in Kansas, and ranked number 1 in return on investment among private universities in the state. Baker University, forever in our orange era.
Can we talk about Sherrone Moore? Let's make Sherrone Moore hit number 1.
By the way, this is going to be the first time Michigan football has ever been hit number 1, but he should be hit number 1.
That's perfectly fine. If you guys saw the story, Michigan's head coach Sherrone Moore, he was let go today because of an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. Now, I don't know what the relationship is. I'm seeing all kind of rumors. I'm not here to spread any rumors because I don't know when it comes to Sherrone Moore. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you something a wise old man told me about workplace relationships. You can't be dipping in the honey where you're making your money. Sherrone, come on now. Now, I don't know who this person is, This could be a 37-year-old woman and you and her had a consensual relationship. I don't know. But it's on a college campus. This is a college staff member. I don't know who it is. I'm sure we will find out in time on what this relationship is. My brother, you were given a gift. You were given a gift. You were the head coach at Michigan. You're a good head coach, very successful head coach. You can't be dipping in the honey where you make your money. There are some things you know you can't do with your job. That's near the top of the list. And if you know that your job doesn't play that, and it's silly, man. I'm not here to judge that, man. Just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I want you to keep that quote. I want you to keep it with you. You can't be dipping in the honey where you make your money. Hit number 2.
He's QB1.
And at quarterback from Texas Tech, number 15, Patrick.
What a transition to Patrick Mahomes.
He's a 3-time Super Bowl champion.
Mahomes moving to his left laterally, chased, holding it, and gets out of bounds and up the sideline. He's not out of bounds yet. He's at the 10, inside the 10, he dives for the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. A remarkable acrobatic scramble on a 27-yard run. Maybe the best play yet.
2-time MVP and 3-time Super Bowl MVP.
Patrick Mahomes with Mahomes magic. Starting left, peeling right. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns for the Chiefs.
And you can hear him right here every week with CDOT, exclusively on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Here's Patrick Mahomes.
Our conversations with the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs are brought to you by our good friends over at Telly Tire and Auto Centers. Winning starts with a great drive. Since 1942, Telly certified techs have delivered complete car care with top brand tires and expert auto service. Keep your drive going. Take it to Telly. Visit tellytire.com today. Earlier today, I got a chance to catch up with the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, and our conversation started with, you guys know, he is an alum of Texas Tech University, and they find themselves in the college football playoff. What does he make of their draw?
Yeah, obviously we're in a good spot getting the bye. Those guys earned it, and so now it's just preparing and getting ready to play a good football team whenever that game gets decided between Oregon and JMU. I wish we'd have been able to play in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, but it'll still be great to play. I think it's the Orange Bowl in Miami, so it'll still be a great environment.
There's been a lot of debate about Miami and Notre Dame. You're a big college football fan. I want to get your opinion. What did you make of the decision for the committee to take Miami over Notre Dame?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it kind of goes to that head-to-head record. You know, that's kind of been the standard for a long time, and even though I actually think Notre Dame might have been playing better football going in, but when it comes down to head-to-head, you have to take the team that won.
A couple more things I want to get your opinion on. We finally know which games are coming to Kansas City for the World Cup, man. Really cool that Argentina is the first game. You get the defending champion. You get Lionel Messi in town. Really excited for the World Cup next June.
Yeah, no, it's going to be amazing. You know, it's going to put Kansas City on the world stage, and I know Kansas City will show up. It's going to be really cool just to be a part of that, and hopefully get to attend some of the games and get to see the greatest of the great playing at Arrowhead.
I'm guessing that people have been starstruck when they've seen you. Have you ever been starstruck when you've seen somebody else? Like you've let Lionel Messi a couple of times, and I'm imagining, like it's maybe the greatest soccer player of all time. Has there ever been an athlete or somebody that you've met that had you starstruck?
I would say not necessarily. I mean, I think when I was younger, like seeing like Alex Rodriguez and Derek Jeter, just because I was a kid and I was a fan of those guys, was definitely an experience. But I think just growing up in the locker room and then in clubhouses, I got to see a lot of people. It was a blessing, and it kind of showed me that they're just regular guys, man. They're regular people that go about their business at a higher standard than a lot of others that play the sport.
I got to get your opinion on this before we get to the game on Sunday. Phillip Rivers is back. You guys have certainly had your battles against one another. What is it like to see him back in the league?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool because, that's what I watched growing up and obviously played a lot of football games against, and someone that just truly loves football. You know, at the end of the day, I think that's what it is that he loves coaching football, playing football, whatever it is, and so he got another opportunity to be back in the building, and he jumped all over it.
Right now, we're talking to the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Let's go back to Sunday's matchup. Patrick, can you take us inside the decision to go for it on the 4th and 1 from the 31st-yard line? Is that a conversation that you were having with the coaching staff? Just take us through that thought process.
No, not necessarily. I think it's just more kind of with the mentality that we had going into the game, knowing there was going to be pivotal moments and thinking we were going to go out there and make those plays in those pivotal moments. And obviously, we didn't make the play happen. But at the end of the day, we had talked about being a little aggressive in certain moments in the game, and we were aggressive at that moment, and it didn't work in our favor.
Do you feel like that was the right time to be aggressive?
I mean, obviously it didn't happen. So you always look back at it and say, man, I wish maybe something here or there. But at the same time, if it would have worked, we'd be talking about the different things. So that's kind of just part of football. And so I just live with my decisions regardless of if it's positive or negative.
You're obviously very accustomed to having success in your NFL career. You guys have been at the highest of highs. Right now, you guys are in the middle of a slump. What's it like to be in the middle of the slump for really the first time prolonged in your career?
Yeah, I mean, it's different for sure. I mean, I ever since I've been in the NFL, even before I started, we were winning football games. And so to be in this position where it's kind of not in our fate anymore, where we have to just try to win every game that we can and hope for the best that other teams are losing, it's not a great feeling to be in. But at the end of the day, you got to accept the challenge, man. You got to accept the adversity that you're in and hope that you can come out better on the other side.
Travis talked about this on his podcast earlier today, that, you know, every season where you guys have kind of had those dips, he's been able to find the answer. It's obviously been a little bit different this time. How frustrating is it for you to obviously be able to identify what some of the problems are, but not always have the solution?
Yeah, I mean, we're making different mistakes every game. It's not like it's just one thing. So when we get one thing corrected, it's like we make a different mistake somewhere else. And so for us, you got to keep pushing, man. You got to keep trying to get better. And there's nothing you can really do other than just try to better yourself every week and put yourself in position to win the rest of the football games.
Right now, we're talking to Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm sure by now you watched the film. You also have those moments where you go back and you replay certain things that happen. Is there a throw? Is there a moment? Is there something that happened in the game that if you could go back, you'd like a do-over?
Yeah, I mean, I think just early in the game, there was a play where I had Hollywood over the middle, and I wish I would have just laid it over the top and gave him that reception there and just took the yards that were there. I think I tried to step up and thinking I could step up in the pocket and maybe hit Hollywood further down the field, or even Tyquan breaking open when the safety was driving Hollywood. And just knowing the situation in the game, not taking the sack, I think that's the only one that I really kind of go back and look and wish I would have just taken what was there instead of being a little too aggressive in that moment.
You guys have obviously had some down locker rooms in your career. Where would you kind of put this and just some of the frustration, disappointment that the team felt after this loss on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we know we're in a bad spot. I mean, we always have had the opportunity to kind of dig ourselves out of holes, and I always had it on ourselves to be able to go out there and do it. And obviously, right now we're in a bad spot because we're not controlling our own destiny. But at the same time, man, we're gonna still have that mentality that we've always had to go out there and play our best football and try to just win. You know, you try to win all the games and then let's see how the rest handles itself. But at the end of the day, all you can do is come in with the right effort, the right mindset every day.
I was just going to ask you that, just like right now, your mentality and keeping the confidence in the team, because you mentioned it. You don't control your own fate right now, but it is not unrealistic to think that you guys can make the postseason when you look at some of the formulas and the scenarios. You guys are still very much in this. How do you keep guys' confidence high where step one is you guys got to take care of your own business?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just said it. I mean, we understand that we got to take care of our business first. We got a lot of stuff to clean up, and we understand it, and we got to go out there and do it now. And so all we can do is play the Chargers this week. And that's a really good football team that's playing really good football right now. And so if we can find a way to just get ourselves going in the right direction and find a way to win this game, then we'll move on to the next week. But right now, that's all we can do is play the Chargers and be the best that we can be.
Travis looked very down on the sideline, looked despondent on the sideline. Is that a conversation that you go over there and you have with him, maybe privately, maybe later? Is that something you just let him work through? How is a leader, and obviously that's your friend, you guys have a close personal relationship, how do you handle it when your teammate, your brother, is down?
Yeah, man. I mean, we've been through a lot of highs and a lot of lows, more highs, thankfully, but I know how he's going to respond, man. I just know the championship mindset that he has and the mentality that he has. That's why he's in the position that he's in, where he's going to get a gold jacket one day. So we talk and all the time, win or lose, and we always have conversations about how we can make ourselves better and make the team better. But at the end of the day, man, I know how he's going to respond just because that's how he's done it his entire career.
Obviously, nobody at this stage of the season is 100%. You kind of favored your knee a bit at times on Sunday. How do you feel physically heading into this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've played a football season. You know, everybody's kind of banged up and has hit things here and there, but I'll be ready to go, and I'm excited to get back out there on the football field and try to do whatever I can to get back in a better mindset of winning football.
Right now, you're dealing with the knee injury, and you look at Justin Herbert. He's got that non-throwing hand wrapped. You can see that he's obviously dealing with that injury. You just mentioned it. Everybody's banged up at this point of the season. How difficult is it to play your best while you're in the middle of being injured?
I mean, I think that's just what makes football so special is that it's a long season. It's a lot of games, a lot of hits, and you have to be tough and go out there and perform when you don't feel the best. And I have a lot of I have a lot of I don't even know what the word is. I have a lot of admiration for how Justin always battles through injury and goes out there and plays his best football. And that's what it's all about, especially at the quarterback position. Is if the guys are going to sacrifice their bodies to block for you and do that different type of stuff, you have to be able to sacrifice your body to give it all on the football field as well. And so it's two teams that are fighting to try to go out there and win a football game, and I'm sure it'll be a great battle.
One of the things about football is it teaches you things. What are you learning about yourself in the middle of all of this?
Yeah, man. I mean, when stuff's good, you can always be happy and be excited and be ready to come to work. But it's when stuff isn't going your way, how do you respond? How you come into the building with what mindset are you in? And that's something that I have to continue to do every single day. And so we're obviously not in the place we want to be at, but I'm going to push myself and try to push my teammates to be the best that we can be, and so we can play better football coming up on this Sunday.
I'll get you out of here with this. Let's just talk about the focus heading into this matchup. We mentioned it earlier. You guys are still very much in this, but it starts with you taking care of your own business. You got a good team coming into Kansas City, a team that obviously you know very well. What's your mindset? What's the team mindset? Where's your focus heading into this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're just going to go out there and try to play our style of football. You know, I feel like these last few weeks we haven't done that, and we have to get back to playing Kansas City Chiefs style football, and that's limiting mistakes, playing fast, and playing with energy. And I think that's something that we got to do this week.
That is a quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, joining us on the show today in preparation for their game on Sunday against the Chargers at noon at Arrowhead. Patrick, man, we'll catch up with you next week, man. Take care.
Yeah, thank you.
That is our conversation with the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes' appearance on the show is brought to you by our good friends over at Telly Tire and Auto Centers. Winning starts with a great drive. Since 1942, Telly certified techs have delivered complete car care with top brand tires and expert auto service. Keep your drive going. Take it to Telly. Visit TellyTire.com today. We'll continue to talk about the Chiefs coming up on the other side. There is one player on the team that I think highlights the problem that they have run into. I'll tell you who it is. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
This is Wyatt Thompson from K-State, and you're listening to The Drive with CDOT right here on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey, Missouri, if you haven't heard by now, good news. FanDuel Sportsbook is live in the Show Me State, and they're kicking things off with an offer that's tough to beat. Right now, new customers in Missouri can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. So whether it's football, basketball, hockey, or more, you can bet it all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. So download FanDuel today and head to FanDuel.com/Missouri and join the excitement. Remember, new Missouri customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. Because Missouri, it's time to play your game with FanDuel. FanDuel is the official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
The Fed just cut interest rates again, and that means now is the time to refinance with Golden Oak Lending. Lower rates mean lower payments, and our customers are saving hundreds every month. Plus, you can make no payments until next year. And if your loan doesn't close, we'll pay for your appraisal. Call 913-890-GOLD today and start saving.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
NMLS number 114937.
Hellsberg Gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping.
Earrings for Mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for Dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is gonna be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop in store at Hellsberg.com for up to 50% off.
Don't drink and drive, keep friends alive, speak up and say, put keys away, takes everyone, still can have fun, from everywhere, people who care, remember when the fun is over, always plan to have a ride that's sober, don't drink and drive, keep friends alive, don't drink and drive, don't drink and drive, don't drink and drive, don't drink and drive.
You don't need carolers, you just need a voice. Prevent tragedy, speak up for a sober ride. Brought to you by Save Mo Lives.
Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
Hi, I'm Lexi, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. If you're planning to propose this holiday, we're ready to make creating your engagement ring a warm, welcoming experience. At Shane Company, we're all about your style, your budget, your dream engagement ring. Explore the widest selection of diamonds and ring settings ready for you to see in person, or visit us at shaneco.com. You'll have your ring in days, not weeks. Our friendly jewelry consultants don't work on commission. There's never any pressure, just perfect proposals. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Around here, we've got each other's backs. When it comes to health insurance, we want that same kind of support. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City gets that. They're from around here too. Backed by the national strength of the Cross and Shield, they help you make confident choices, no matter where you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are. That's the benefit of blue.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Shh, hush up back there. Wow, I might have just set the hushing record. Well, almost. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic, made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Park & Go, your holiday travel made easy with all covered airport parking.
Heading out of town for the holidays? Make travel easy with Park & Go. Enjoy all covered parking, free shuttles, and luggage help that'll have you feeling merry and bright. Reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Happy holidays from Park & Go.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
North KC still working the two-car crash off to the right shoulder, finally 35. Southbound, it's just past Antioch. And then a stall blocking part of the right lane down at 435 eastbound and State Line. Scoot to the left through here. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Juju Smith-Schuster from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, let's talk about the special teams because a lot of the emphasis has been placed on their offense. A lot of their emphasis has been placed on the defense. Man, their special teams has really let them down as well. And I think that Harrison Butker is just kind of one of the examples of what's going on with the Chiefs. Right now, Harrison Butker is the highest paid kicker in the National Football League. He signed a 4-year, $25.6 million contract that guaranteed him $17.7 million. Now, I think most people would agree, and I'm in this category, I think Harrison Butker earned this contract. I think if you look at the kicks that he's made and his impact on this team and helping them win championships, I think Harrison Butker was worthy of this contract. I now think that contract has become bad for the Chiefs. Harrison Butker has missed more kicks than any active kicker in the National Football League this season. The other two guys who have the same number of missed kicks, 8, 4 extra points, and 4 regular kicks, both of those guys have already been released from their team and not currently in the league. If Harrison Butker was a 7th-round pick who hadn't been paid, they would have moved on from Harrison Butker this season. But they really can't move on from Harrison Butker. If you look at his contract, his cap hit this year was $5.2 million. His dead cap space was $15.2 million. You are not releasing him at any point this season. You look at next year. Next year, he's going to make $5.8 million in base salary. You then go to signing bonus, workout, all of those kind of things, a restructure they gave him. Harrison Butker's cap hit is going to be $7.3 million, and his dead cap's going to be $10 million. They lose money in the deal if they release Harrison Butker next season. Now, that's not the case in 2 years, but it is the case next season. The reason I think he is the example of what's wrong is I think this team is sort of living in what they've accomplished in the past, and they've done a lot. And now, as you're moving forward and you're asking the age-old question in the National Football League, what have you done for me lately? And the answer for Harrison Butker, at least in this season, is you've been one of the worst kickers in the National Football League. You've missed more kicks than anybody else. How else are we judging if you're good or bad at kicking? Their special teams in general has been bad this year. They haven't had a return touchdown or a special teams touchdown in 4 years. And right now, they currently have the most expensive kicker in the league, but he's also missed the most amount of kicks in the league so far. So they're going to miss this because their offense wasn't good enough. They're potentially going to miss the defense because their defense wasn't good enough. And they're also going to miss the playoffs because their special teams wasn't good enough this year. Whether it comes to Harrison Butker, whether it comes to Nico Remigio, whether it comes to the return game, Dave Tobe, their special teams has let them down tremendously this season. And the highest paid guy on their team in that aspect, on that side of the ball, in that unit, he just hasn't lived up to the expectations and hasn't lived up to the contract this year.
I think, not to get in the weeds with Harrison Butker, I think what you're highlighting is a larger problem that, to an extent, we saw earlier in the show with the text line, which is the fact that Chiefs have not been the Patriots. Now, the Patriots are an extreme example, but in the midst of their dynasty, they were as cold-blooded and heartless, and you are a number on an Excel spreadsheet as any team we have ever seen in football, maybe short of Jimmy Johnson's Cowboys. He felt that way too. The Patriots moved on from everyone, basically outside of Tom. Remember, they tried to trade Gronk, and then he retired. They were trying to trade him to the Lions. They did move on from Ty Law. They moved on from Adam Vinatieri, Richard Sherman. Like, the list goes on and on and on. Wes Welker, they walked away from. Lawyer Malloy was a big part of that documentary. They walked away from him. Willie McGinnis played football at the Browns because that's what the Patriots did. They walked away from him. The Patriots it was cold world out there. The Chiefs, early in their dynasty, we applauded them for doing the same thing. They traded Tyreek Hill. They didn't mess around with bringing back bloated contracts of players they didn't need anymore. They were always out early when it came to big money deals, and it made them better for it. Recently, in whatever you want to call it, this near three-peat part of the dynasty, this iteration, the Chiefs have gotten away from that. We joke about it on the show. The text line gets their jokes off. Hey, so-and-so's available. He once played in Kansas City. I bet they bring him back. Hey, so-and-so's a free agent. The Chiefs should bring him back because he did X for the team last year. And I think Harrison Butker, and to some what we talked about with Rashee Rice earlier in the show, we are seeing that problem manifest itself with the Chiefs. I'd like to see Brett Veach and Clark Hunt start treating these players a little more like numbers on a spreadsheet, because at the end of the day, the fans care about wins and losses more than anything. And Harrison Butker, while I agree with you, he was so successful he earned that contract. Do we think the Patriots would have given Harrison Butker that deal? Do we think the Patriots would have given Trey Smith that deal? Nick Bolton that deal? Do you think they would have given Chris Jones that deal? We can go down the line. Do we think the Patriots this upcoming offseason would keep Rashee Rice and extend him. I'm betting if we ask those questions, the answer is no, no, and no. So I'm not here to, rain on Harrison Butker that he's been bad this year. I think Harrison Butker is a symptom of the larger disease. The Chiefs got away from doing the cold-hearted world the Patriots lived in, and now they are starting to have happen to them what happens to other dynasties across the league. Parity happens, age happens.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, I don't want to make it seem like that the Patriots just made all these like cutthroat kind of moves. That certainly is the feeling around them. I think what happened with the Chiefs is, man, things just changed really quick in Kansas City. I mean, just think about it. A year ago, the Chiefs won 15 regular season games. 15 regular season games. Now you're sitting here at 6-7, and you're questioning everything. Man, when you gave that contract to Harrison Butker, I don't know if you thought, hey, before he turns 30, we're going to really regret this deal. But 100%, the Chiefs are in a better position if they just moved on from Harrison Butker. It would have been very difficult, and I don't think it would have been the very popular decision to make at the time, too. Harrison Butker, part of all these things, I don't know if it would have been very popular. But, man, just very, very quickly. I mean, they probably spend more on Harrison Butker than they do their running back room. Like, if we sat here and we added up base salary, I mean, Harrison Butker makes $3.7 million in base salary. Rob, I bet you if we looked up how much they pay their running back, they pay their kicker more than they pay their running backs. So, like, they spend a lot to have a good kicker. Well, man, in a tight ball game in which points are going to be a premium, your kicker has to make that kick. You're paying him to make that kick. And the same way that people have the stance about running back, because you remember, the running back used to be dime a dozen. Oh, we don't have to spend big resources on it. We could just turn over the position. Man, teams are finding kickers in a bunch of ways. How you found Harrison Butker was he was a practice squad guy. You then picked him up on your roster. Look at what he turned into. Look at Brandon Aubrey's story. Like, it's not like kicker is one of those you got to spend a premium position. No, you just got to trust your scouting department. You got to go out and look. But the Chiefs are unable to go out and look for a new kicker because they're paying Harrison Butker so much. You're not taking minus $10 million in dead cap because of your kicker. You're not taking minus $4 million in dead cap because your kicker's not good enough. That is a substantial amount of money to be in the red when it comes to that position on the field. Now, maybe next year they'll be willing to do that once they get closer to the middle of it. But I guess the purpose of this segment was, man, he just is kind of indicative of the problem because they're kind of stuck. They're paying him for the kicks that he made in 2023 and 2022. And now in 2025, when you'd like to move on, when you'd like to go find a new kicker, when you'd like to find your version of Matt Araiza as a kicker, the same way that you moved on from Tommy Townsend, man, they're just kind of stuck heading into this offseason. And Harrison Butker is going to have to be back. One of the top people for me that needs to be gone this offseason is Dave Tope. Their special teams, to me, it has gone by the wayside. Field goal kicking, return game, they need a boost when it comes to special teams. And the decline of Harrison Butker has really highlighted, I think, the fact of they've kind of let the special teams go. And their special teams is not an advantage for them right now. We're talking about one or two plays. Man, your special teams is supposed to help you win one or two games a year. You make a big kick, you block a kick, you get a kick return or a punt return that puts yourself in big-time field position. How do the Chiefs have the best special teams coach in the league, but they're not one of the teams that is taking advantage of the rules change? They should be one of the best teams in the league when it comes to this new kickoff rule, when it comes to Dave Tope. That's just not the way that things are playing themselves out on Sunday. Keep it locked in. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, a show that prides itself on getting it right.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
Legendary doesn't happen by chance. It happens because it's what BetMGM does. Sign up for BetMGM and check out all the exciting new ways you can make this football season unforgettable. Enjoy our all-new app design and same-game parlay builder, which will take your experience to a new level. Earn BetMGM rewards points from your bets, take advantage of football promos found nowhere else, like a second-chance offer on a first touchdown bet, and keep an eye out for rewards dropping in your account throughout the season. Never settle for ordinary. Sign up today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older to wager. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements, promotions may vary by market. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
FanDuel is the #1 sportsbook for same-game parlays, from points, rebounds, three-pointers, assists, and so much more. FanDuel is the best place to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat line live, all in an easy-to-use one-stop shop app. And right now is the perfect time to join because new customers get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So bet on the players that you love the way that you want. Head over to FanDuel and use my promo code FanDuel.com/KFNZ to sign up today. FanDuel is the best place to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat line live, all in an easy-to-use one-stop shop app. FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued with nominal drawable bonus bet, which expires 7 days after restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement Kansas Casino LLC. Gambling problem? Get up with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit kansasgamblinghelp.com.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
For over 36 years, Metal by the Foot has been your source for steel, aluminum, brass, and stainless. Located in KC and Topeka. Online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
I love watching the Chiefs on offense, but I love to see them score as many points as they can because the more they score, the more I save on gas at Hy-Vee. I just head to Hy-Vee the day after any game and score savings at the pump with my Hy-Vee Perks card. Win or lose, I earn a fuel saver discount equal to the Chiefs score based on the amount I spend. So if the Chiefs score 35 points, I'll save 35 cents a gallon when I spend $35 on groceries. The more we score, the more I save, only at Hy-Vee. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
It's Thirsty Thursday at Hy-Vee. Time to stock up the bar and fill up your tank. Earn 50 cents per gallon fuel savings on every $50 purchase of wine, beer, hard seltzer, and spirits. Mix and match all your favorite libations and get a 50-cent fuel saver with every $50 purchase. Stack up the savings and your next fill-up could be free. Don't miss Thirsty Thursday at your Kansas City, Missouri Hy-Vee. Product or promotion differs by location. Offers valid where legal, available while supplies last.
What's up, guys? It's Drew. Well, we're in the heart of football season, and the players, they got to be on their game and at peak performance and ready to go when it matters most to try and get a win on Sunday, Saturday, whatever time of the week they play. You also have to be ready and confident where it counts. I'm talking about Blue Chew, a small chew for a big difference. Day nights just got longer and better for everyone because showing up matters during life's most exciting moments. Turn oh no into oh yes with Blue Chew. It'll have you feeling fantastic. Be ready when she is. It's not just about performance. Confident where it counts. Give her group chat something to talk about because nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. Discover your options at BlueChew.com and get your first month free when you use our promo code KFNZ at checkout. Just cover $5 for shipping. That's BlueChew.com and get your first month free. BlueChew.com and get your first month free. A small chew for a big difference. Then you'll be ready to chew it and do it.
Hey folks, I've got a couple of important questions for you. Do you know how much money you need to retire? Do you have a plan in place for your loved ones? If your answer is no, it's time to get your financial planning on track with UMB Private Wealth. It's never too late to start. Plus, their team supports you at every step of the planning process. Go to umb.com/private wealth to schedule your appointment. That's umb.com/private wealth. Why not start today?
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Pick up Chevron Techron Fuel System Cleaner on sale now. Buy one, get one free, plus receive 2 times O Rewards points at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Still working the crash in Shawnee 35 southbound as you approach Antioch. Left lane is blocked, and then you've got that crash down South 435 eastbound at State Line. Right lane blocked there. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome to your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
We are seeing some pretty massive turnover right now in college football. I just saw this stat, Rob. For this upcoming season, there are 68 Power 4 jobs. 16 of them are going to have new head coaches. That's around 24%, 23.5% are going to have new coaches heading into this season. Kansas State is obviously one of those. You guys know that. Chris Kleiman out and Colin Klein is in. We're talking about this because Michigan, that job has recently opened up. Sharon Moore, their head coach, he has been let go because of some inappropriate conduct. So he has been let go with cause by the University of Michigan. So we'll obviously find out more about that situation, but he has been let go. Wow, 16 of the 68 Power 4 jobs are going to have new coaches heading into this season. Pretty big turnover in the sport. I mean, these are some major jobs. Florida, LSU, Michigan, Ole Miss, Penn State, Virginia Tech. Like, we're talking Arkansas. Like, we're talking about some big-time jobs, Rob, were open. I'm very curious to see what Michigan does, because if Michigan was open a month ago, it's maybe the number one job that's out there. It's either that or LSU. Like, there's a legitimate argument on which job you think is the better job. I mean, a marquee job on either way. I mean, LSU was able to poach Ole Miss's coach and got Lane Kiffin. I think there's a couple of coaches that probably would have taken this job or at least entertained the possibility if it had been thrown out there, but you've already signed an extension with your school, so you just can't leave. It will be very, very intriguing to see what they end up doing at Michigan.
I'm fascinated by it too, because Michigan, maybe more than most schools, has this weird fascination with you have to have a Michigan man, you have to have someone connected to Michigan, like all these things. Man, I would just hire the best available coach, but I don't know who that is. Like, I was on a group text with some friends earlier, and they said the old defensive coordinator of Michigan under Jim Harbaugh, who's now with the Chargers, Jesse Minter, who's done a good job with the Chargers, could be a name because he has a Michigan connection. I feel like that'd be a fine job, but like all the intriguing, sexy names seem to be gone. But every time I feel like the coaching carousel has stopped spinning, Matt Campbell ends up at Penn State. So I'm curious to see where this goes, but it does feel like coordinator or group of five type of energy based on everything we've seen so far.
I want to ask you this. This will be our final, question of the day. Someone just texted in. C-Dot, I think NIL killed college sports. It's a terrible take, I know, but it certainly feels that way. What's different about college sports in 2025 because they get paid than was the case in 2015?
I know it's not NIL, but the portals.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Now, if you're going to argue the portal and freedom of movement,
because I think
has hurt college sports, absolutely. I will 100% agree with you. The fact that now players are essentially on one-year contracts and can do whatever they want whenever has definitely hurt college athletics. College football is worse because Arch Manning gets paid to play at Texas. But the thing that I guess kind of trips me out about it is we used to just always laugh and joke about it that they got paid. We knew they got paid. Now that they get paid, I don't know how it's any different. Like, I was listening to Ed Orgeron. He did a podcast, and he said, I used to have to come through the back door with the money. Now I can just walk into the front door with the money. I feel like it's the same. Now we just Now we just know.
Now, maybe this is me riding the fence, and that's fine. Is it fair to say NIL and tampering is a problem in college sports? Now, if you want to call it the tampering part of the portal, hey, I'm cool with that. But right now, you got players on roster X that are talking to Booster Y about leaving because Booster Y is enticing them behind the scenes with more money. Like, we have countless stories of that in college sports. Like, how many times do you see a player into the portal that do not tag?
That's happening.
Like, I don't know if that's the portal or NIL, but the back channeling is still 100% happening. So there's still a dirty pool element
I'm
at
with
play.
you. And I keep telling you, the problem is I don't know why we just don't treat this like a professional league like it is. It's a professional league. They're still trying to have the amateur rules that we've had for the longest time and not just treat it for what it is, professional athletics. Some of these players are millionaires because of this. They're millionaires because of it. So why don't we just, what are we doing then? Sign a contract. I have a contract with Odyssey. There are agreements for my employment that we have jointly agreed to. I don't know why we just don't have that in this. Like, what are we doing here? It's the only thing in which the people get paid and then they want to act like they're amateurs. No, you're a professional athlete. So yeah, I think they've always been getting paid. We know they have been getting paid. We know they've always been getting paid.
But never in college basketball. That was the pinnacle of purity and cleanliness.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, we know for a fact that a KU assistant coach walked into the Orient and gave Billy Preston money. That is not something that is debatable. That is something that we know for a fact that happened. So they have been doing that for a very, very long time. All right. Hey, congratulations to the high school football teams that were on the show earlier today. Congratulations to them. We'll be back tomorrow. Take care of yourself. It's The Drive.
The Drive with